Hello everyone, welcome to Sunya IAS. We are having the topic-wise discussion of previous year questions of CSAT, that is paper 2 of CSE Prelims. So today we are starting with the topic of data interpretation. So this topic of data interpretation, what does it mean? In short, we call it as DI. So in this topic, they will give you some data and then they will ask to interpret something. Some data and then we need to interpret something with the given data or with the given information. So what interpretation you need to tell? Whatever in the question they will be asking with the given set of data. That data can be in any form. हो सकता है ग्राफ के फॉर्म में हो सकता है पाई चार्ट के फॉर्म में हो, है ना? In any form they can give you the data, or in maybe in the number form they might give you, and then they will ask some questions and then you need to answer those. From the analysis point of view, this topic has lost importance in last few years because the question hasn't been asked from this topic specifically in last 3 to 4 years. But before that, this was a very important topic. But this condition was before 3 to 4 years. Before 3 to 4 years, this was a very important topic. But right now, in last 2 to 3, maybe 4 years, it has lost that relevance. So अगर हम analysis point of view से देखें, this topic might be important in the coming years because in the last 3 to 4 years the questions have not been asked from this topic. So there is a high probability that in the coming years there might be some questions from this topic, and this topic is not at all difficult. You just need to know how to see a graph, how to read a graph, okay, or how to read a pie chart, some basics. अगर आपको इतना पता है तो I don't think there will be any difficulty to anybody in this chapter, and I will ensure कि आपको इस topic में कोई भी difficulty ना आए. ठीक है? So before starting this topic, I would just tell you in very in a few minutes some basic things that you need to know before starting this topic. Okay, so what are some basic things? So the topic is data interpretation. Data interpretation. Okay, so there is something that is pie chart. What is pie chart? So pie chart is you have been given some information and that information you are going to show in a circular kind of diagram. For example, एक एग्जाम्पल ले लेते हैं. लेट्स से इन अ क्लास ऑफ 100 स्टूडेंट्स, टोटल कितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं? 100. 70 स्पीक्स हिंदी ओनली, 20 स्पीक्स इंग्लिश ओनली, and 10 speaks Telugu only. Now this information is given in some sentence form. Okay, now you need to show this information in this pie chart. So what will you do? 70%. So this whole area would be 50. So something like, if this is, no, sorry, yes, so something like this. So this whole area, this would be of Hindi because this is occupying 70% of the area. So this is 70%. Out of 100, 70 students. Then 20 are speaking English. If 20 are speaking English, then something like this. 20. Who are they? They are English speakers. And remaining 10. This is Telugu. That is 10. So now in this, what you did, you divided this circle. आपने इसको समझा कि ये 100 है. You divided this circle in 3 parts because there are 3 things according to their percentage. 70 will occupy more space, then 20, and then 10%. Right? Now you can easily say कि अच्छा आपको दिख रहा है कि हिंदी ज़्यादा स्पेस घेर रहा है, then English and then Telugu. So this is a pie chart. So the important thing you need to know in a pie chart is the central angle of a pie chart is this angle. Let's say this pie chart is divided in these many, subdivisions. So this central angle, this angle is 360 degree. Central angle is 360 because center ka angle, this is making a circle, then the whole angle will be 360 degree. This is one important thing that you need to know in the pie chart. ये central angle 360 degree होता है. ठीक है? If I am asking, ये हिंदी वाला कितना एंगल बना रहा है? How much angle this Hindi speaking people's proportion is going to make? So you can see this is occupying 70% of the area. That means 100 में you need to use unitary method. 100 में it is occupying 70. Then in 1 it will occupy 70 by 100. Then total angle is 360 degree. Then in 360 degree, how much angle this will make? 70 by 100 into 360. $252 degree. No? 252 degree. So this angle would be 252 degree if my calculation is right. Calculation आप देख लेना. So that is how we calculate the angle in the pie chart. If this angle would have been given only, ये Hindi speaking people, they are making 252 degree angle in the pie chart, then you can easily calculate the number of Hindi speaking people. So that is the importance of pie chart. कोई भी doubt इसमें? कोई doubt की बात नहीं, simple चीज़ है. Everybody would have aware with this topic, but just for basics and for everybody I'm explaining this. The second thing you need to know in this topic is yes. So the second thing you need to know So the second thing that you need to know is bar chart. Bars. Bar or bar graph. Let's say I want to tell that this is month and this is earning of some person. Let's say month is of January, February, March, something like that. Let's say January he earned 100 rupees, here 80 rupees, or here 120 rupees. Now this information has been given and now you need to show this in bar graph. So what is bar graph? It is just like a graph. This axis is x-axis, this is y-axis. In x-axis I showed the, let's say, month. Here I am showing months, and in y-axis I am showing earning. Here I am showing earning. So in the month of January, this is Jan, this is February, and this is March. Let's say here it is 60, 80, 100, 120. Now this is 60 rupees, 80 rupees, 100 rupees, 120 rupees. This is in y-axis, this is in x-axis. January earning is 100 rupees. So January it is 100. So I will make a this bar kind of thing. It would be similar to this, and I will just, this is a bar. February I am earning 80 rupees. February is 80. This, so this would be February, and March it is 120 degree. Now these are three different bars. Now you can easily say January earning is 100, February earning is 80, and March earning is 120. Right? So the bars are nothing but a representation, but these are, these are quite visible. बहुत बड़ा है, elaborate है, थोड़ा सा दूर दूर है ना? So इससे बहुत clear representation होता है. Bar is for a easier representation or clearer representation. Okay, so this is bar. So while we will be solving the bar kind of questions, then you will see कि these kind of diagrams will be given in the exam. So now you can see कि कितना आसान है. आप इससे देख लो बार कहाँ टच कर रहा है, उससे आप x और y एक्सिस को कंपेयर कर लो. x एक्सिस में क्या दिया है, y एक्सिस में क्या दिया है. ठीक है. Now we will see the normal graph. If this is a curve, this is x-axis, again this is y-axis, and let's say here it is given time, here it is given speed, time t and speed v, and here it is 0, and graph is given something like this. So this is a graph. This is a graph. What you can see, let's say this speed is 20. This is, let's say, in kilometer per hour. Then this would be 20 kmph. This is 30. This is 40. Something like that. Let's say 30 वाले में time span है 10 second. 40 वाले में time span है 15 second. And like this. And this time is in seconds. Now you can see this is a simple graph. Now you can see with time the speed is increasing. Time बढ़ रहा है, time ऐसे बढ़ रहा है, इसके बाद speed बढ़ रही है. So you can see this graph is increasing. जब time, when time is this, then the speed is this. When time increases, time here, is speed further increases. Now speed is this. When time is this, speed further increases. Now the speed is this. When time further increased, the speed increases like this. So now you can see with time the speed is increasing, but the increase is not constant. कभी यहाँ है बढ़ गई, थोड़ा कम रेट से बढ़ा. You know, say suddenly increase speed, the speed increased. Suddenly बहुत तेजी से speed बढ़ गई है. So this is shown by a graph. Now here you can see after 10 second, sorry, 10 is not this, 10 is this, 10 second the speed is this, that is 30. So you can tell at t is equal to 10 second the speed is 30 km per hour. At t is equal to 15 second the speed is this, that is 40 km per hour. Right? That you can easily tell. Now there are some basic things, that this VT graph, Vt. Because y-axis is V, axis is T. So this graph is called Vt graph or Vt curve. So the area of Vt curve, shows the distance covered. That you will remember. That you will remember. The area of this Vt curve, what does this depict? This depicts the distance covered. Why? Because generally what is the formula? Speed is equal to distance upon time. So for remembering this, you can see speed and time is getting multiplied, then you get distance. You multiply time and speed, then you will get distance. That is how, in the same way, for just remembering this thing, if you will find the area of V into T, yeah, Vt, what is equal to distance covered. So how will you calculate area? Let's say this is some curve, this is T, this is V, this is some graph. So how will you get the area? Area is calculated by, ये जो इसका final point है, you just make a line parallel to y-axis or perpendicular to x-axis, parallel to x. This area is the area covered. You calculate this area, and once you will be done with the area calculation, this area will nothing but be the distance covered. ठीक है? There is one more thing. There is one more thing in this curve. There is something called slope. There is something called slope. What is this slope? If this is curve, this is T, this is V, this is some curve. The curve is like this. That is, with time speed is increasing. This is an increasing curve. With time, आपको किसी भी इंस्टेंस में टाइम बढ़ने के साथ स्पीड कम नहीं दिख रही है. यहाँ पे टाइम में स्पीड इधर है, टाइम और बढ़ गई, टाइम स्पीड और बढ़ गई, टाइम स्पीड और बढ़ गई. So at every instance you are getting a faster speed with the increase of time. अच्छा, now I'm asking, यार एक बात बताओ, स्पीड तो ठीक है बढ़ रही है, sorry, but now I want to find whether the rate of growth of speed, rate of increase of speed, what is happening to this? And what is this rate? Rate of speed increase, what is this? What is this rate? Rate क्या है? मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? Let's say this is 0, this is 5 second, this is 10 second, this is 15 second. 5 second में let's say speed 2 km per hour है. Here 8 km per hour है. Here it is. Here it is. Let's say some 20 km per hour है. Some random speeds are given. Now what is the rate of increase of speed? That you know that with time speed is going to increase. पर speed बढ़ किस rate से रही है? Let's say 1 second में 5 से speed बढ़ गई, अगले second में 10 speed बढ़ गई, अगले second में 15 speed बढ़ गई. So what is the rate of growth of increase? So how will you calculate rate in first 5 seconds? In first 5 seconds, what is the rate? First 5 seconds में rate, speed, final speed 2, initial 0, final time 5, initial 0. So this is 2 by 5. What is this? This is rate of growth of speed. What is this? Rate of growth of speed. ऐसे यहाँ पे जो स्पीड डिफरेंस है वो टाइम के साथ कैसे बढ़ रहा है? स्पीड डिफरेंस जो है वो टाइम के साथ अगले 5 सेकेंड्स में देखो. दिस इज फर्स्ट 5 सेकेंड. फर्स्ट 5 सेकेंड में फॉर एग्जांपल ये है, अगले 5 सेकेंड्स में 5 to 10, फाइनल स्पीड 10 - 5 एंड स्पीड इज 8 - 2, that is 6 by 5. Here it is 0.4, here it is 1.2. So you can easily tell in the next 5 seconds here the speed increased more rapidly. Rate of growth of speed has increased from 0.4 to 1.2. Even though this will not be constant in at every instance, मैंने बस कैलकुलेशन के लिए आपको ये दिखाया, ठीक है. फॉर कैलकुलेट, लाइक फॉर बीइंग वेरी स्पेसिफिक, you will take very small steps and then you will do integration and all. That is not for you right now, but just for the understanding I want to tell कि ये होता है rate of growth कि स्पीड कैसे किस बढ़ रही है. अच्छा, so this rate of growth of speed, एक सेकंड में स्पीड कितना बढ़ गई, एक सेकंड में स्पीड कितना बढ़ गई, हर एक सेकंड में स्पीड कितना बढ़ा, इसको हम बोलते हैं एक्सीलरेशन. This is called acceleration. What is this acceleration? Acceleration is change in speed upon change in time. What is delta? Delta shows change. 0 second में speed 0, 5 second में speed 2. So change in speed would be 2 and change in time 5. 2 by 5 would be our acceleration. ठीक है. This change, this acceleration, this rate of growth, we find this by a term called slope. स्लोप से निकालते हैं. नाउ व्हाट इज स्लोप? स्लोप कैसे निकालते हैं? लेट्स से स्लोप क्या होता है? व्हाट इज स्लोप? हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं स्लोप को? स्लोप इज ढलान, राइट. इफ दिस इज द पेन, ये ऐसे टिल्ट हो गया, अगर आपको ऐसे दिख रहा होगा, ऐसे टिल्ट हो गया, ये पैरेलल टू ग्राउंड है, प्लेन, इसको मैंने तिरछा कर दिया. सो नाउ दिस इज अ स्लोप. दिस इज मेकिंग सर्टेन एंगल विद द ग्राउंड. ये प्लेन है, ठीक है, इसको आपने ऐसे कर दिया, दिस इज अ स्लोप. एंड नाउ दिस एंगल विच दिस पेन इज मेकिंग विद दिस प्लेन ग्राउंड, दिस एंगल इज स्लोप का एंगल, स्लोप एंगल, ठीक है. सो इफ स्लोप कैसे निकालते हैं? एट एनी इंस्टेंस स्लोप इज लाइन टेंजेंट टू द कर्व. इफ दिस इज द कर्व, then tangent to this curve. What is tangent? Tangent is which just touches the curve at that point. It doesn't intersect. ऐसा नहीं हो रहा है कि ये कर्व है, if this is a curve तो ऐसे लाइन जा रही है. No, this is not slope. This is not tangent. What is tangent? Like this. This is a tangent. It is touching the curve only at one point, one specific point. This is the tangent. ऐसे हम स्लोप निकालते हैं. अब स्लोप कैसे निकाल रहे हैं आप ये देखो. सो इफ आई वांट टू गेट द स्लोप हियर, अच्छा, स्लोप शोज रेट ऑफ ग्रोथ. जितना ज्यादा स्लोप होगा उतना तेजी से चीज बढ़ेगी. सोचो ना, अभी ऐसा है, स्लोप इतना हुआ तो ऐसे इंक्रीज हो रहा है, ऐसा हो गया, तो अभी स्पीड इस टाइम पे इतनी थी और अचानक से इस टाइम पे इतनी हाइट पे चली गई. तो स्लोप शोज द रेट ऑफ ग्रोथ. So here I want to find the slope, then slope will be something like that. Just something like that. So this is slope. If at this point I want to get slope, what I will do? क्या हो रहा है? Like this. You can see this is a tangent. So what this point makes with this is slope. This angle theta, this making with the plane theta. Now you can see if this is theta 2 and this is theta 1, you can easily tell here the angle is less, here the angle is more. That is theta 2 is greater than theta 1. Obviously this angle is more, this angle is less. That means here slope is higher. Slope is higher, that means rate of growth is higher here, right? Slope is less, slope is more, rate of growth is higher. So here definitely the speed will increase at a faster rate. ज़्यादा तेजी से स्पीड बढ़ेगी, यहाँ पे कम तेजी से बढ़ेगी दोनों में, पर यहाँ पे एक कम पेस से बढ़ेगी और यहाँ बहुत ज़्यादा रेट से बढ़ेगी. And now this slope is calculated by tan theta. This slope is tan theta. This slope is theta. So tan theta would be, अगर मैं इसको इसे मिला दूं तो tan theta is equal to this length divided by this length. This length is perpendicular and this is base. So tan theta is equal to whatever the perpendicular is and base that you will calculate. So this was the concept of slope. So these are some basic things that I wanted to discuss with you. Also, one more thing you will be knowing, if this is a curve, then this is represented by x comma y, where this point shows, if I match this line, this x will be abscissa, what is shown in the x axis, and y is what is shown at the y axis. So this point will be represented by x comma y. X is 10 here and y is 8 for this point. So this is the representation of this curve or this point. So these were some basic things that I wanted to discuss with you before starting the topic of data interpretation. So I think we have covered the relevant things that we needed to know before the start of this topic. Now directly I will go to the first question of our today's lecture. So the first question has been asked in the year 2022. So this question was on a pie chart. So a pie chart gives the expenditure on 5 different items A, B, C, D and E in a household. If B, C, D and E correspond to 90 degree, 50 degree, 45 degree, 75 degree respectively, then what is the percentage of expenditure on item A? So for any topic, for any pie chart question, the only thing you need to know that the central angle is 360 degree in a pie chart. ठीक है, तो अगर एक पाई चार्ट ऐसा है और ये A, B, C, D, E 5 different items expenditure में दिखाया जा रहा है, that means this pie chart has been divided into 5 parts. Let's say वो 5 parts ऐसे हैं. This might be A, this is B, this is C, this is D and E. Let's say this is A, B, C, D, E. Values are different, ठीक है, पर just for a representation I made. So this angle is, this is making 90 degree. That is, this angle is 90. This is B is making angle 50 degree. C is making 45 degree. D is making 75 degree respectively. A, B, C, no, if B, C, D and E corresponds to 90 degree, no, sorry. So यहाँ पे confusion हो गया है, इसको एक काम करते हैं, इसको नेमिंग चेंज कर लेते हैं. Simple, this is B, C, D, E and this is A, because angle B से start हो रहा है, A से start नहीं हो रहा है, B से, B, C, D, E, these are the angles. Now ये पूछ रहा है what is the percentage of expenditure on item A. Simple है. Now you tell me one thing, अगर मैं ये एंगल भी ले लूँ, एंगल A, this is angle A, so the central angle should be 360 degree. That is the only thing I know in the pie chart. ठीक है, तो एंगल A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D plus angle E, this is equal to 360 degree. This total angle is 360 degree. Angle A I don't know, angle A. B is 90, C 50, 45 plus 75. This is equal to 36 degree. Now if I solve angle A would be this 90 and 50, 140, 140 plus 45, 75, 120, 120, 140, 260, 360 minus 260, 100 degree. Is the calculation right? एक बार चेक करना. 140, 120, 120 degree, sorry. This is 90 plus 50, 140, 140, this is 360 minus 140 minus 120. So this is 140 minus 120, 260, 360, 100 degree, right? This was right. Angle A is 100 degree. ठीक है? Angle A is 100 degree. Now you know this angle A is 100 degree. अच्छा अब एक बात बताओ, this 100 degree is इन व्हाट? नाउ वी विल यूज यूनिटरी मेथड। पाई चार्ट में पहले आपने वो किया, अगले स्टेप में यूनिटरी मेथड लगाना है। दिस 100 डिग्री टोटल 360 था, इसमें था 100 डिग्री। टोटल 360 में a is 100 डिग्री। इफ this is 1 degree then the angle of a would be 100 by 360. now it is asking percentage. percentage किस में होता है? percentage out of 100 होता है हमेशा। 360 में 100 था, 1 में 100 by 360, then percentage is out of 100, then in 100 what will be the share of a? 100 by 360 into 100, 0 0. So this, if I'll calculate, this will be 50 into 5, 250 by 9. Is there any option? Yes, option D, 250 by 9 is the correct option. कुछ भी डाउट इसमें? कुछ भी डाउट? कुछ भी नहीं है, डाउट की तो कोई बात ही नहीं है। हमें पता चल गया 360 में 100 डिग्री है, तो 1 में कितना हो गया? 100 by 360, तो 100 में कितना हो जाएगा? 100 by 360 into 100. सिंपल, ठीक है। So this was the question on pie chart and this was asked in the recent year 2022. कितना सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, देख रहे हो आप कितना सिंपल है। ऐसे काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस they will be asking in the exam. Okay, next question. A pie diagram shows the percentage distribution of proteins, water and other dry elements. So what are protein, water and dry elements in the human body? Given that proteins correspond to 16%, water corresponds to 70%, if both proteins and the other dry elements correspond to P%, then what is the central angle of the sector representing P on the pie diagram? Again a question has been asked on the pie diagram. Pie diagram अगर आता है तो you need to know only two things. The first one is central angle is 360. Second thing is you need to apply unitary method. इतना ही है, इतना अगर आपको आता है तो आप ये सारे क्वेश्चन कर लोगे। Now what is asking? Human body is made up of proteins plus water and dry elements, इनसे मिलके बना है ह्यूमन बॉडी। ठीक है, that means if they are talking in terms of 100, that is percentage, so these three things will constitute the 100% of human body. ठीक है, ह्यूमन बॉडी में यही तो तीन चीजें बता रहा है अकॉर्डिंग टू द क्वेश्चन। इफ क्वेश्चन इज टॉकिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ परसेंटेज तो हम इसको 100 के बराबर कर लेते हैं, 100% होता है 100 के बराबर। प्रोटीन इज 16, नाउ आई विल राइट प्रोटीन इज 16, वाटर इज 70, वाटर इज 70, देन ड्राई एलिमेंट तो दिया नहीं है तो हम ड्राई एलिमेंट इससे काउंट कर लेते हैं 100, दैट इज ड्राई एलिमेंट विल बी 100 minus 16 minus 70, 86, 14, ड्राई एलिमेंट्स हो जाएंगे 14% इन द बॉडी। इट इज गिवन if both proteins and other dry elements correspond to P%, इसमें क्या आपको लाइन टू लाइन लिखना है, सॉल्व करना है, लाइन टू लाइन लिखना है, सॉल्व करना है, whatever information you can get. Now if both proteins plus dry elements, this constitute P%. P प्रोटीन 16 दिया था, ड्राई एलिमेंट मैंने अभी भी कैलकुलेट किया 14, दिस इज इक्वल टू P, तो यहां से P निकल आएगा 30%। बहुत बढ़िया, मुझे P का परसेंटेज पता चल गया 30% है, सिंपल था, इसमें कुछ नहीं था। नाउ इट इज आस्किंग व्हाट इज द सेंट्रल एंगल ऑफ द सेक्टर रिप्रेजेंटिंग P। ठीक है, अब इसमें क्या करना है, P कितना हो गया 30% that we have calculated. So if this is the pie chart, P is something like this, this is P and this is 30%. Again now you need to apply unit method. आपने central angle 360 लगा लिया, you got the percentage of this, अब now you need to apply unitary method. 30% कितने में है, 100 में है P30, इसलिए 1 में होगा 30/100। पूछ रहा है सेंट्रल एंगल, सेंट्रल एंगल कितना होता है, टोटल 360 होता है, सो 360 में हाउ मच विल बी दिस एंगल, यही तो एंगल पूछ रहा है वो। 100 में 30 था, 1 में 30/100 हो गया, तो 360 डिग्री में कितना होगा? दिस वुड बी द एंगल 30/100 इंटू 360. This is equal to 108 degree. Any option? Yes, option C, 108 degree would be the correct option. That is the angle which P is making at the center point. कुछ भी कठिन था? पाई चार्ट, 2 ट्रिक्स. मैं एक बार ये आपको बता देता हूं. पाई चार्ट का क्वेश्चन आता है, इसमें नहीं बताते हैं. If there comes a question of pie chart, the method is only 2 steps. The first one is central angle is equal to 360 degree, and second, you need to apply unitary method where percentage will be total percentage 100 and total angle 360. अगर परसेंटेज दिया है तो 100 में निकाल लोगे, टोटल एंगल दिया तो 360 में निकाल के कन्वर्ट कर लेंगे. सो दिस इज द 2 स्टेप अप्रोच इन एनी क्वेश्चन ऑफ पाई चार्ट. ओके, चलो. Now we will move on to the next question. Okay, so this question shows the figure drawn below gives the velocity graphs. So this is a graph. This is velocity, this is time. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. This is velocity, this is time. What is velocity and what is speed? What is the difference? Speed और velocity में? Actually both are same. In a layman term both are same. स्पीड भी आपको दिखाएगा कि गाड़ी किस स्पीड से जा रही है, 40 की स्पीड से जा रही है, 50 की स्पीड से जा रही है. वेलोसिटी भी लगभग इतना ही है, बट देयर इज ओनली वन डिफरेंस दैट वेलोसिटी हैज डायरेक्शन आल्सो. वेलोसिटी इज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. वेलोसिटी इज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. तो व्हेनेवर आई विल बी टेलिंग कि दिस कार हैज अ वेलोसिटी ऑफ 50 km/h, देन आई नीड टू टेल 2 थिंग्स. फर्स्ट इज मैग्नीट्यूड, दैट मैग्नीट्यूड मतलब कितना है, 50 है, 40 है, 30 है, 60 है. एंड द सेकंड थिंग इज आई नीड टू टेल दैट व्हाट इज द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द मूविंग कार. Car is moving in north direction, northeast, southeast, southwest. Then this velocity term will be completed and this speed will only be magnitude. मुझे ये मतलब नहीं गाड़ी कहीं भी जा रही है, गाड़ी कहाँ जा रही है, कहीं भी जाए, but I only need that number. What is the speed? ठीक है. Now the straight line OKP, this is the straight line OKP, represent the velocity of vehicle A. Vehicle A at an instant, whereas the horizontal straight line CKD represents the velocity of vehicle B at any instant. So CKD, this represent vehicle B. In the figure, D is the point where perpendicular from P meets. ये perpendicular and that is this angle is 90 degree. And PD is equal to half LD. बहुत बढ़िया. What is the ratio between the distances covered by vehicles A and B in the time interval? Velocity or speed in these CSAT questions you can use this term interchangeably. मैंने आपको डिफरेंस बता दिया, पर वो जनरली फिजिक्स में यूज होगा. Here you can velocity or speed both same. So velocity or speed can be represented by V and time can be represented by T. So this is a VT graph, VT curve. I have told you in the starting. Now it is talking about the term distances. Distance covered. So how will you get distance? How will you get distance from a VT graph? The area of VT curve. What is the distance? Distance is area of VT curve. अब भाई एक बात बताओ, व्हीकल ए को अगर मैं देखूं, व्हीकल ए, इसका मुझे डिस्टेंस निकालना है, तो हाउ विल आई डू? दिस कर्व शोज व्हीकल ए, तो दिस एरिया कवर्ड बाय दिस कर्व, दिस शोज द डिस्टेंस कवर्ड बाय व्हीकल ए. तो व्हीकल ए का अगर मैं डिस्टेंस निकालूं, डिस्टेंस कवर्ड बराबर इज इक्वल टू एरिया ऑफ दिस, एरिया ऑफ दिस इज मेकिंग अ ट्रायंगल, राइट? दिस इज अ ट्रायंगल. triangle POL, right? Triangle POL, right? And vehicle B distance would be, this is vehicle B. So under this, whatever the area is coming, this is vehicle B ka area. So this area, so this is making a rectangle. So this is the area of angle CD, rectangle CDLO, area of rectangle CDLO. Now if I need to calculate this area, now the ratio between the distances covered by vehicle A and B would be triangle POL ka area and CDLO rectangle ka area. Now triangle POL, what is the area of a triangle? Half base into height. So half base is OL for this triangle POL. Base is OL and height is PL. बहुत बढ़िया. And what is the area of rectangle? Length into breadth. Length is OL and breadth is CO or DL. कुछ भी ले लो. तो मैंने क्योंकि CO and DL would be same. So OL into, let's say this length is DL. बहुत बढ़िया. Now you can see OL is cancelled. This is PL upon 2 times DL. Now PL, there is some relationship given between PD and DL. तो मैं क्या करूँ, PL को इन दोनों के टर्म में लिख लूँ जिसमें रिलेशनशिप दिया हुआ है. तो PL would be PD plus DL. PL कैसे? PL is this, full is PL. So PL would be this plus this, PD plus DL upon 2 times DL. From here you can write DL is equal to, या PD is equal to half LD. PD is equal to half DL plus DL upon 2 times DL. This is 3 by 2 DL upon 2 DL. DL would be cancelled. 3 by 2 by 2 is equal to 3 by 4, or the ratio is 3:4. Is there any option? Yes, option C is given, that is 3 by 4 is the correct answer. ठीक है, सिंपल था, जो बताया था वही आया कि भाई VT कर्व का एरिया निकालोगे, that would give you distance and you have just calculated the area. अगर आपको ट्रायंगल का एरिया, रेक्टेंगल का एरिया पता है, then this question becomes very easy for you. So that's why I tell you these kind of questions, they are very easy, they are just cakewalk. ठीक है, बस आपको कुछ बेसिक चीजें पता है. जितना मैंने आज आपको बेसिक चीजें बताई आप उसको ध्यान रखोगे, so I personally don't think there will be any difficulty in solving these kind of questions. ठीक है, so this question was very easy and this was asked in the year 2018. ठीक है, so now we will move on to the next question. So this question was asked in the year 2018. ठीक है, तो इस क्वेश्चन में क्या है, okay, direction for the following 3 items. The following 3 items are based on the graph given below. So this is a graph. What is this graph called? This is a bar graph, okay, which shows imports of 3 different types of steel. 3 different types of steel over a period of 6 months of a year. Study the graph and answer the 3 items that follow. So these are thousands of tons imported. तो ये तो कितना import हुआ है, this is y axis. X axis में month of import, January, February, March, April, May, June. And what is this? Some is lined, some is grid kind of, there is no sketching under this. So there are 3 types of steels: coil steel, sheet steel and scrap steel. ठीक है, अब इसमें रिप्रेजेंटेशन कैसे दिया हुआ है, coil, you can see here there is no shading. So this is coil, 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 this is coil. What is sheet? Simple parallel lines. So this is sheet steel, this is sheet, and scrap steel is, which is, there is grid. So grid wale jitne bhi hai, this shows the scrap steel. Now it is asking, the figures in the brackets indicate the average cost per ton over 6 months period. So ये average cost show कर रहा है per ton over 6 months पे, 6 months टन में 6 months के पीरियड में एवरेज कॉस्ट क्या थी पर टन. तो कॉइल की कितनी है $320 पर टन, शीट स्टील के $256 पर टन, एंड स्क्रैप स्टील के $175 पर टन. ठीक है. नाउ व्हाट क्वेश्चन दे आर आस्किंग, by how much measured in thousands of tons did the import of sheet steel exceed the import of coil steel in the first 3 months of the year. First 3 months of the year मतलब we need to focus upon month of January, February, March. ये तो 3 महीने हुए. ठीक है. इसमें किस किस स्टील का पूछ रहा है? इंपोर्ट ऑफ शीट स्टील. पहला शीट है, दूसरा है कॉइल स्टील. तो अगर मैं शीट स्टील का लिखूं यहां पे इंपोर्ट शीट स्टील एंड सेकेंड इज कॉइल स्टील. अगर मैं शीट स्टील का फर्स्ट 3 मंथ्स का देखता हूं, शीट स्टील का फर्स्ट 3 मंथ्स का देखता हूं, तो दिस इज शीट, दिस पैरेलल लाइन, दिस इज फर्स्ट मंथ इज जनवरी में 40 है, फेब्रुवरी में शीट स्टील इज दिस इज 36. अगर मैं इसको यहां ऐसे मिलाऊं तो समवॉट हियर इन बिटवीन 36 टू 38, 36 टू 38 के मिड में क्या आएगा? अप्रॉक्स 37. सो आपको ना यहां पे ये ध्यान से देखना होगा कि ये बार ग्राफ किसके करस्पॉन्डिंग है. अगर आपने ध्यान से नहीं देखा, सो यू कैन मेक इट आइदर 36 और 38, देन योर क्वेश्चन विल बी रॉन्ग. इसलिए यू नो बीइंग वेरी फोकस्ड, यू नीड टू सी what number is corresponding to this graph. And the third month, that is March में कितना है? March में अगर इसको मैं straight line draw करूं, this is 36. So this is steel, thousands of tons में है, thousands of tons में 40,000 टन, 37,000 टन, 36,000 टन. तो मैं 1000 को अभी छोड़ देता हूं, केवल यही थीम लिखता हूं. तो first 40, then 37, then 36. So sheet steel का अगर मैं लिखूं 40 plus 37 plus 36. Similarly, I will write for coil steel the 3 months period. Okay, coil steel ये वाली है, this is 30. Now February month के लिए coil steel कितना हो जाएगा? You can see in between 30 to 32, this is 31. And March में क्या हो जाएगा? In between 32 to 34, that is 33. So coil steel import would be 30, 31 and 33. So this would be 30 plus 31 plus 33 in the first 3 months of the period, January, February and March के लिए. ठीक है. Now if I'll add this, the total would be 76,113 and this would be 94. Now what is asking, by how much did the import of sheet steel exceed? Obviously sheet steel का ज्यादा है तो ये exceed करेगा, ज्यादा होगा then coil steel. तो what would be the difference? Difference would be 113 minus 94 is equal to this is 9 and this is 1, 19. So what is there any option 19? Yes, option C 19 is the correct option. ठीक है. इसमें कोई डाउट? कुछ भी नहीं है. सो शीट स्टील का फर्स्ट 3 मंथ्स का है 113, कॉइल स्टील का फर्स्ट 3 मंथ्स का है 94. ठीक है. नाउ विल सी द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हाट वाज द अप्रोक्सीमेट टोटल वैल्यू ऑफ शीट स्टील? अगेन इट इज आस्किंग अबाउट शीट स्टील इंपोर्टेड ओवर द 6 months period. Now what we need to find शीट स्टील का अप्रोक्सीमेट टोटल वैल्यू इन डॉलर. ये कैसे पता चलेगा? यहां देखो आप, शीट के ब्रैकेट में लिखा है $256 पर टन, $256 पर टन है ना. एवरेज कॉस्ट पर टन $256 पर टन। तो अब मुझे ये पता करना है कि टोटल कितना कॉस्ट हमें लगा इंपोर्ट करने में। तो 1 टन का प्राइस है $256, $256 पर टन, पर टन $256 है। तो जितने नंबर ऑफ टन स्टील इंपोर्ट हुई है उसमें अगर हम 256 का मल्टीप्लाई कर दें, बिकॉज 1 टन का प्राइस $256 है, तो जितने टन इंपोर्ट हुई है उसमें 256 का मल्टीप्लाई कर दें, देन वी विल गेट द फाइनल नंबर। तो हाउ मच स्टील दिस शीट स्टील हैज बीन इंपोर्टेड इन द फर्स्ट 6 months। तो फर्स्ट 3 मंथ का तो हम कैलकुलेट कर चुके हैं 113, इसको मैं डायरेक्ट लिख देता हूं क्योंकि दैट हैज बीन कैलकुलेटेड ऑलरेडी। फॉर द नेक्स्ट 3 months वी नीड टू सी अगेन। अब देखता हूं मैं, ये तो 3 months का था, अब फिर से मैं इसका देखता हूं। दिस इज, यू कैन सी दीज टू आर सिमिलर, सो दिस वुड बी 36, शीट स्टील इज दिस पैरेलल, अच्छा दिस इज 36। नाउ इफ यू नीड टू सी दिस वन, दिस इज इक्वल टू 34। अगर आप ये लाइन स्ट्रेट बनाओगे एंड देन इफ यूल मैच विद दिस, ट्राई करो जितना स्ट्रेट हो सके, देन ओनली यू विल गेट द राइट नंबर। सो इफ दिस इज 36, दिस इज 34, एंड अगेन यू कैन सी दिस बार एंड दिस बार is at same height, so this will again be 34. So till here 3 months it was 113 that I have written. For the next 3 months, April, May, June, the readings will be 36, 34, 34. That is, I can write 36 plus 34 plus 34. So if I'll add all this would be 217. Please check the calculation if I'm right. So these many tons, 1000 tons of the whatever steel has been imported. ठीक है, अब आप एक बात बताओ, इतना टोटल हुआ है, $256 था एक का प्राइस कितना था? $256. ओके, देन what I will do, I will multiply this 256 into 217. Whatever will be the value, that would be our answer. अब इसको मैं multiply करता हूँ. So for multiplication, what I'll do, I'll make this here. I can multiply 256 into 217. Five, 5, 2. This is the multiplication. You can check. Right? आप डायरेक्टली 3 स्टेप में भी कर सकते हो, देयर इज अ प्रोसेस, आप डायरेक्टली भी कर सकते हो इसको. सो दिस इज द करेक्ट 5, 5, 5, 5, 2. सो इफ आई विल सी हियर, सो दिस मल्टीप्लिकेशन कम्स आउट टू बी, this comes out, this is 5, 5, 5, 5, 2, something like that. So what is the, so you need to do that calculation on your own. आप इसको देखोगे तो 5, 5, 5, 5, 2, तो what would be the nearest value? This is 45,000, wrong. This is 50,000, this is 55,000, this is also wrong. This is 55,550, 50,552. So this is the nearest value. So the correct option would be 55,550. कोई डाउट इसमें? कुछ भी नहीं था. अच्छा, लास्ट में क्या पूछ रहा है, what was the approximate ratio of sheet steel and scrap steel imports in the first 3 months? अगेन 3 months का पूछ रहा है. किसका पूछ रहा है? शीट स्टील का और स्क्रैप स्टील का, फर्स्ट 3 month का. तो फर्स्ट 3 month का शीट स्टील का तो हो जाएगा 113. दैट हैज बीन कैलकुलेटेड ऑलरेडी इन द फर्स्ट पार्ट. अब मुझे स्क्रैप स्टील का फर्स्ट 3 months का निकालना है. तो व्हाट इज स्क्रैप स्टील? दिस ग्रिड वाला पोर्शन है स्क्रैप स्टील. तो इसका अगर मैं निकालूं, दिस इज 32 फर्स्ट मंथ. हमें 3 महीने का निकालना है. फरवरी में यू कैन ऑलरेडी सी कि ये लाइन जो है इसी ग्राफ के ऊपर से निकल रही है, और ये कितना जा रहा है 34. and this third graph, this one, what would be this third curve? थर्ड कर्व की अगर मैं वैल्यू देखूं तो दिस वुड बी, यू कैन सी, इसको मैं अगर इधर बढ़ाता हूं, so this will be equal to this is 32, so this will also be 32. So for first 3 months, January, February, March, the scrap steel imports would be 32, 34, 32. So if I'll write here 30, 32, 34, 32, 32, 34, 32, 32, 34, 32. So this would be 113 divided by 8, 113 by 98, 113 divided by 98. अब मैं 113 by 98 को अगर मैं सॉल्व करूं, 113 by 98, so obviously this is not 1:1, क्योंकि 113 में 98 के से अगर डिवाइड करेंगे तो 1:1 तो नहीं आएगा, तो 1.2:1 हो सकता है क्या? 98 1 5 50 8 15 150. It will be something approximately, it would be some 1.19 kind of thing. This calculation, this will approximately be 1.2. Obviously this will not be equal to 1.4, क्योंकि आप डायरेक्टली मल्टीप्लाई कर लो, सीधे ऑप्शन से चेक कर लो इफ यू आर नॉट गेटिंग द डिवीजन. सो 98 इंटू 1.2 कर लो आप, मल्टीप्लाई डायरेक्टली. 69 117 117.6, that is approximately 118. So obviously, and this is 113, तो 1.2 से कुछ कम ही होगा, तो what would be the nearest value? That would be 1.2. 1.4 and 1.6 तो वैसे, इससे बड़ी वैल्यू तो वैसे भी नहीं हो सकती, 1.2 से कम होगी, बट 1 से ज्यादा होगी. So the correct option would be option B, 1.2:1. So any doubt in this question? So this was a very simple question, बार ग्राफ का क्वेश्चन था. I have already told you, बार ग्राफ में only you need to know one thing, आपको इस लाइन स्ट्रेट खींचनी है so that you can find the correct corresponding value with respect to the बार ग्राफ. उसके बाद आपने सीधे कैलकुलेशन कर लिया है, इससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है इसमें, ठीक है. So we will move on to the next question. Okay, so this question was asked in the year 2018. Which one of the following statements is not correct with reference to the graph given above? ठीक है भाई, क्या ग्राफ है? So this is percentage of work, this is month. ये मंथ आपको दिया हुआ है, दिस इज परसेंटेज ऑफ ग्राफ, कि इस मंथ में कितना परसेंटेज ऑफ वर्क हो गया है, ठीक है. नाउ दिस इज एक्सपेक्टेड प्रोग्रेस एंड दिस इज एक्चुअल प्रोग्रेस. मतलब ये बिल्कुल, दिस इज रिलेटेड टू आवर लाइफ, है ना, स्पेशली यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट. कैसे? इतना तो हम सोचते हैं कि यार मैं 10 घंटे पढ़ूंगा और पढ़ते हैं मैं 1 घंटा. सो दिस इज आवर एक्चुअल प्रोग्रेस, दिस इज आवर एक्सपेक्टेड. प्लान 10 घंटे का, मिल रहा है 1 घंटा, राइट? Expected, actual. So this is our expected progress curve, this is our actual progress curve, ठीक है. Now what is asking, on 1st June the actual progress was less than expected. The actual progress of work was less than expected. 1st June को नॉट करेक्ट पूछ रहा है, तो कौन सा स्टेटमेंट नॉट करेक्ट है? द एक्चुअल प्रोग्रेस ऑफ वर्क वाज लेस देन एक्सपेक्टेड. 1st जून तो ये है जून, एक्चुअल वर्क इज ऑब्वियसली लेस देन एक्सपेक्टेड. एक्सपेक्टेड है 50 और हम लेस देन 25% ही काम किया है, तो ऑब्वियसली दिस स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. दिस इज अ करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट दैट एक्चुअल वर्क वाज लेस देन एक्सपेक्टेड, राइट? The actual rate of progress of work was the greatest during the month of August. The actual rate of progress of work was the greatest during the month of August. Actual rate of progress. क्या पूछ रहा है इसमें? Actual rate of progress. What is rate of progress? मैंने आपको क्या बताया था? Rate of growth क्या होता है? It is not asking expected progress or actual progress. Rate of progress है ना, rate of progress. What is rate of progress? कितनी तेजी से प्रोग्रेस हो रहा है, वो कितने कम टाइम में हमने कितना ज्यादा प्रोग्रेस कर लिया, दैट इज रेट. विथ टाइम कितना हो रहा है, तो दैट रेट वी कैलकुलेट बाय स्लोप. Now you can see here the slope is this angle theta. Here also same, because this is a straight line, the slope will be same. But here at this point you can see the slope has increased rapidly. First angle was this theta 1, here also theta 1, here it becomes theta 2, and this is rapidly increased. Rapidly increase हो गया, ये था अचानक से बढ़ गया, और अब theta 2 ही है. So in August month you can see, this rate has increased, suddenly increased, और ये maximum increase है क्योंकि इसके बाद ऐसे ही जा रहा है. So this statement is also correct. Third is the work was actually completed before the expected time. Before the expected time. अच्छा, अब एक बात बताओ, वर्क 100% वर्क कहाँ कंप्लीट हुआ है? यहाँ पे. अब एक बात बताओ, एक्सपेक्ट हम कर रहे थे कि वर्क होगा यहाँ पे कंप्लीट, दैट इज 1 सितंबर में, बट वर्क हमने कहीं अगस्त और ये अगर मैं इसको ड्रॉ कर लूं तो अगस्त और सितंबर के बीच में कहीं हमने फिनिश कर लिया है वर्क. दैट इज वी आर स्मार्ट, हमने एक्सपेक्टेशन से पहले ही काम कर लिया. दैट इज obviously the work has been completed before the expected time, because expected time was 1 September, we have completed before 1 September. This is also a correct statement. Now the last statement is, during the period from 1st April to 1st September, at no time was the actual progress more than the expected progress. 1st April to 1st September, at no time was the actual progress more than the expected progress. Now here you can see 1st April to 1st September. Now if you see the curve, यहां तक तो एक्चुअल एक्सपेक्टेड के नीचे है, तो ऑब्वियसली यहां, बट फ्रॉम हियर टू हियर ऑल्सो एट दिस टिल दिस प्लेस एक्चुअल इज लेस देन एक्सपेक्टेड. बट हियर बिफोर, लाइक फ्रॉम हियर somewhere from this point to this point, here actual progress is more than expected progress, and this is before 1st September. So this statement is wrong, because it is saying at no time was the actual progress more than the expected progress. No, before September 1st and after some date of August, you can find that actual progress is more than the expected progress. So this statement is wrong. It is asking about a not correct question, so the option would be option D. कोई डाउट इसमें? कुछ भी नहीं था, जस्ट रीडिंग द ग्राफ था. ग्राफ को हम कैसे रीड करते हैं इतना ही समझना था इसमें. बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट्स है, स्लोप एंड ऑल, दैट ऑल कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैव बीन कवर्ड बाय मी. तो इस तरह के क्वेश्चन में आपको कोई भी मिस्टेक नहीं करनी है, बिकॉज दीज आर वेरी वेरी सिंपल टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है. नाउ दिस क्वेश्चन वाज अगेन आस्क्ड इन द ईयर 2018. इट इज it says directions for the following two items. Consider the following graph in which the birth rate and the death rate, so this is birth rate and this is death rate of a country, are given, and answer the two items that follow. So this is years, it's not written here, years. This is birth and death rates per thousand. This is birth rate and this is death rate. ठीक है. So question is, looking at the graph, it can be inferred that from 1990 to 2010, population growth rate. What is this population growth rate? Population growth rate क्या होता है? एक होता है population grow करना. आज 100 थी population, कल 110 हो गई, तो population कितनी increase हो गई? 10. पर what is growth rate? What is rate? जहां भी rate आ जाए, rate होता है with time. With time कितना change हो गया? Speed 10 to 20 हो गई, that is the change of speed, that is speed. but rate of speed change क्या हो गया? ये 10 से 20 कितने टाइम में हुई. ठीक है. so population growth rate is birth rate. बर्थ किस स्पीड से चेंज हो रहा है, लोगों का बर्थ रेट किस स्पीड से चेंज हो रहा है, एंड डेथ रेट, लोग मर किस स्पीड में रहे हैं. पैदा होने और डेथ, बर्थ रेट और डेथ रेट, इन दोनों का जो डिफरेंस होगा दैट इज पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ रेट. इफ बर्थ रेट इज मोर एंड डेथ रेट इज लेस, दैट मीन्स ज्यादा लोग पैदा हो रहे हैं इन कंपैरिजन टू जो लोग मर रहे हैं. तो ऑब्वियसली पैदा होने वाले बढ़ रहे हैं, मरने वाले कम स्पीड से मर रहे हैं, घट रही है संख्या, बट विद लेस स्पीड, एंड ये बहुत रैपिडली इंक्रीज हो रहा है. सो ऑब्वियसली द गैप बिटवीन दीज टू विल इंक्रीज, एंड सो आवर पॉपुलेशन विल हेंस बी इंक्रीज्ड, पॉपुलेशन विल ग्रो. ठीक है. ये बर्थ रेट, बर्थ रेट तेजी से हो रहा है और ये धीरे धीरे घट रहा है, तो ऑब्वियसली पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ रेट इट विल इंक्रीज, पॉपुलेशन विल ग्रो एंड द रेट विल ऑल्सो इंक्रीज. नाउ looking at the graph can be inferred that from 1990 to 2010, 1990 to 2010, 1990 ये है, मतलब इस वाले पॉइंट से, ये वाले पॉइंट से 2010 ये वाले पॉइंट, इसमें it is asking about the population growth rate has increased, decreased, remained stable and all. अच्छा बताओ एक बार, population growth rate is birth rate minus death rate. So here the difference is this much difference. Here this difference has increased. Here this difference has further increased. Here this again increased and here again like this. So I can say that this is increasing here and then here it is constant. So I cannot tell completely कि केवल increase हुआ है, केवल decrease हुआ है या stable हो गया है. First इतना था, फिर increase हुआ है, increase हुआ और यहाँ पे constant हो गया. So it is increasing and getting stable. Increasing and getting stable. We cannot say that it is only increasing. So increased wrong, decreased wrong, has remained stable. No, first increased and then remain stable. So it shows no trend. Yes, it is showing some mixture of trends, increasing and remaining stable, increasing and remaining stable. So that is the correct option. Then the next question is also with the same paragraph. It is asking, with reference to the above graph, consider the following statements considering 1970 as base year. अब हमने कौन सा बेस ईयर लिया है? 1970. ये बेस ईयर, यही जो स्टार्टिंग है जहां से, ठीक है. Population has stabilized after 35 years. After 35 years, 1970 से 35 अगर हम ऐड करेंगे, that means 2005. So this year is 2000 से 2010 के बीच का year. This is 2005. So it is asking whether the population has stabilized after 2005. So भाई एक बात बताओ, this is 2005. So you can see that population, this is birth rate, this is death rate. So we can say that birth rate and death rate, this difference is constant. That is, after 2005 we can say population growth rate is stabilized, not population in itself is stabilized. मतलब what is growth rate? Let's say 2022 में population है 10, 2023 में population है 15, 2024 में population है 20, 2025 में population is 25, like this. Now what is the growth in every year? Growth is 5 years. Growth is 5 years. Growth is 5 years. So I can see that growth rate. Why rate? Because I am taking a time span of 1 year. In 1 year, population is increasing by 5 unit. In 1 year, increasing by 5 unit. In 1 year, increasing by 5 unit. So the growth rate is same. Growth rate is stabilized. And what is the growth rate? Growth rate is 5 unit of population per year. एक साल में 5 change हो रही है. But whether the population is stabilized? No. First it was 10, then 15, then 20, then 25. Population is increasing or population is not stabilized, but the population growth rate is stabilized. Rate is stabilized. So here, if I am talking about the statement, so statement is population has stabilized after 35 years. No, population growth rate has stabilized. So statement 1 is wrong. Population growth rate has stabilized after 35 years. Yes, that's what I was talking about. That population growth rate has stabilized after 35 years. Now, death rate has fallen by 10% in the first 10 years. First 10 years, मतलब 1980 तक, death rate has fallen by 10%. तो death rate क्या हो जाएगा? 1970 में death rate था 20 to 30 बीच में 25, and 1980 में here death rate is somewhere between, which was somebody approximately 21. So death rate would be 25 minus 21 divided by 25 into 100. 4 by 25 into 100. That is, death rate has fallen by 16%, not 10%. So the option was 10%. No, this is wrong. No, it has decreased, and decreased by 10% is wrong. Decreased by 16%. So this statement is also wrong. And birth rate has stabilized after 35 years. It is after 35 years, मतलब 2005 के बाद birth rate has stabilized. Yes, it has become a constant. So now birth rate is approximately 15, 16, 17, 18. So approximately 18 हो गई है. And this has stabilized because it has become a straight line. Here also 18, here 18, here 18, here 18. So birth rate is also stabilized. So this statement is also correct. So the correct statement would be option 2 and 4. So the option D would be correct, 2 and 4. Any doubt in this question? No? Simple hai? If you know what is population growth rate, so you need to know the difference between growth and growth rate. ठीक है, population growth and population growth rate, there is a difference. जहां पे rate लग जाता है वहां time के terms में बात होने लगती है. In this much time, how much this has increased? Velocity change and rate of velocity change. Rate of velocity change is acceleration. Velocity change is normal velocity के magnitude में कितना change हो रहा है. That is a speed change. ठीक है, so ये आपको ध्यान देना है. जहां पे रेट है वहां पे स्लोप की बात आ जाती है. स्लोप से देख लेते हो आप. अगर वीटी कर्व में रेट ऑफ ग्रोथ ऑफ वेलोसिटी, देन वी विल सी की स्लोप कितना है. इतना है, इतना है, इतना है. ठीक है, ठीक है. तो आई थिंक दिस कॉन्सेप्ट विल बी क्लियर्ड. सो विल वी सी द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Okay, so this is the 10th question, and this was again asked in the year 2018. Average hourly earnings per year. E hai, this is E. This is E. Of workers in a firm are represented in figure A and B. This is figure A, this is B. What it is showing? Average hourly earnings. एवरेज अवरली अर्निंग. ये ईयर दिया हुआ है, इस ईयर में कितना अर्निंग किया है, इसमें कितना एवरेज अर्न किया है, इसमें कितना एवरेज अवरली अर्न किया है. दिस हैज बीन शोन बाय with the help of two figures, that is figure A and figure B. Now it is asking from the figure, it is observed that you can say one thing. There is a starting point. If this is a curve XY, so if this is the origin I can generally I take it is O as 0 0. This point generally we take as 0, x0 y0, and then we make some graph. Let's say this graph is starting from point 10. For example, ये 10 है, ये 20 है something, and I made this graph. ठीक है, so I can easily tell कि यार देखो ये 0 है, from here it is 10, at the x0 y is 10. ठीक है, but I can make the same graph as, मैंने कहा कि यार I have a very limited space. I don't want to waste the paper. I don't want to waste the graph paper. I need to save paper. Save paper, save trees, save environment, save earth, save us. ठीक है, तो वो करना है हमें. ग्राफ पे हमें जगह बचानी है, तो हम क्या करें कि मैं कह रहा हूँ यार ये जगह का तो कोई यूज ही नहीं हो रहा है. इट इज नॉट गेटिंग यूज्ड. सो व्हाट विल आई डू? मैं ग्राफ यहां से शुरू करता हूँ, एंड फ्रॉम द स्टार्टिंग वैल्यू 0, आई विल नॉट पुट 0, आई विल पुट 10 हियर, एंड आई विल make the similar graph parallel to this line, so that slope is same. This slope should be same, so that all the values should be same. If here it is 20 at this time, so 20 will be at the same value. Let's say the value is, let's say 40. So at 40 only you are getting 20. So now if you see these two graphs are same, you will get the same values from both the curves. The only difference is that this origin point I have shifted. I am not making the origin as 0 0. I am making the origin at 0 10. 0 10 मतलब y की वैल्यू 10 से शुरू की है हमने, and the graphs are same. So we are getting the same information from both the graphs. Now you can see these two graphs. This is started. This has been started from 20. This has been started from 0. Because 10, 10, 15, 20. So this will be 5 and this will be 0. 0, 5, 10. So 2013 value is 20. 2013 value is 20. 2014 value is 25. 2014 value is 25, right? 2015 value is 30. 2015 value is 30. 2016 value is 35. 2016 value is 35. And 2017 value is 40, 2017 value is 40. So now you can see that both the graphs are same. For the two graphs to be same, the things should be, all the values of x corresponding to y should be same, or y corresponding to x should be same. Second, the slope should be same. So how you find the slope? Slope is tan theta. This angle is slope. Slope is tan theta. Tan theta is equal to, tan theta क्या होता है? If this is the triangle, tan theta would be this length divided by this length, perpendicular divided by base. So let's say I make this tan theta. मैं इसको कर देता हूँ. If this is theta, from any slope मैं कहीं से भी identify कर सकता हूँ. This is theta, मैं इस line से भी slope कर सकता हूँ. Then this will be perpendicular, this will be base. If I'm making by this for this length, so tan theta would be this length divided by this length. For this length, because line is same, so theta would be same. So tan theta for this one would be this length 25 minus 20. This would be perpendicular, and base would be 2013 to 14. That is 2014 minus 13. 5 by 1, that is 5. For figure A, the slope is 5. For figure B, let's say मैं ऐसे कर लेता हूँ और मैं इसके लिए ले लेता हूँ. If this is theta 2, this is theta 1. Tan theta 1. So tan theta 2 is equal to this length. This is 30 minus 20. And here this length, this is perpendicular, this is length, 2015 minus 2013. 10 by 2, that is 5. 5, here also 5. So now you can see tan theta 1 is equal to tan theta 2. That is slope of figure 1 and slope of figure 2 is same. So this means these two graphs are similar. That is, they are giving you the same information. Now I will see the option. Values of E are different. No. Similar graphs, similar values. I saw 2013 में क्या value है, 2014 में क्या value, 15 में क्या value है. So this is wrong. Ranges, that is the difference between the maximum and minimum values of E are different. E का maximum value यहाँ पे क्या है? 40, minimum 20. Here 40, minimum 20. Similar graph, this is wrong. Slopes of the graphs are same. We have calculated slopes of the graphs are same, right? And rates of increase of E are different. Rates of increase of E are different. Rate of increase of E क्या है? मतलब एक तरह से स्लोप ही हुआ. रेट ऑफ इंक्रीज, रेट कैसे निकालते हैं? दिस डिवाइडेड बाय दिस, रेट ऑफ ग्रोथ, दैट इज स्लोप. दिस इज डिफरेंट, दिस इज ऑल्सो रॉन्ग. द करेक्ट ऑप्शन वुड बी ऑप्शन सी. कोई भी डाउट इस क्वेश्चन में? So this is a general application of graphs, slope, how we find that growth rate, growth and all. तो कुछ भी ऐसा rocket science नहीं है. They are very simple questions. Okay. Next question. Again they have given you one question. ठीक है. Consider the following figures A and B. ठीक है, ये A and B two figures are given. In the first figure it is cost of production in lakhs, number of pipes manufactured. Pipe manufacture करने में कितना cost production लग रहा है, and selling price, number of pieces sold. जितने पाइप हमने मैन्युफैक्चर किए उनको अगर मैं सेल करूं तो हमें कितना सेलिंग प्राइस मिल रहा है. सो दीज टू थिंग्स आर डिपिक्टेड बाय टू फिगर्स. द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट एंड प्रोजेक्टेड सेल्स फॉर अ प्रोडक्ट आर शोन इन द अबव फिगर्स A and B. What is the minimum number of pieces that should be manufactured to avoid a loss? Minimum number of pipes that should be manufactured to avoid a loss. मैं मिनिमम कितना बेचूं कि हमें लॉस ना हो? ये कैसे होगा बताओ आप मुझे. यार मैंने कोई चीज़ 100 रुपये में बनाई, अब मैं चाहता हूँ यार मुझे लॉस ना हो, मैं मिनिमम कितना बेच दूँ? तो यार एटलीस्ट अगर मैंने 100 रुपये की कोई चीज़ बनाई है तो मैं उसको 100 में तो बेच दूँ. इफ आई सेल इट एट 99 देन आई विल बी एट लॉस. तो आई शुड सेल इट एट मिनिमम 100 रुपीज़, है ना. 101 में बेच दूंगा तो फायदा हो जाएगा, दैट इज ओके. बट मिनिमम 100 में तो जाए, अदरवाइज में तो नुकसान हो जाएगा मेरा, है ना. सो तो मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ टू बी मैन्युफैक्चर टू अवॉइड अ लॉस. तो मिनिमम कितना हो कि मेरा जितना कॉस्ट लगा है उतने में बिक जाए. तो जीरो प्रॉफिट जीरो लॉस. तो दिस इज द मिनिमम टू अवॉइड अ लॉस. दिस इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट. दिस टर्म इज जनरली यूज्ड इन स्टार्टअप्स. कई बार स्टार्टअप्स को ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट पहुंचने में टाइम लग जाता है, वो पैसा 500 करोड़ लगा दिया एंड दे आर गेटिंग 100 crores as turnover. So then they take 5 to 10 to 15 years, you know, to reach to the break even point. कि यार अब मैं इस पॉइंट पे पहुंच गया हूं कि now I am not at profit, not at loss. Now I'll be taking the profit from now onwards. ठीक है. Now if I see, let's say मैं 1000 पीस बेच रहा हूं, 1000 pipes for example. So for this 1000 pipes, what is the manufacturing cost? Manufacturing cost 1000 pipes, इसका मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट कितना है? 6 लाख रुपीज. 1000 पाइप्स के लिए कितना है? 6 इन लैक्स है रुपीज. सो 1000 पाइप्स के लिए मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट इज 6 lakhs. सो फॉर वन पाइप, इफ आई एम सेलिंग दिस 1000 पाइप्स, वन पाइप के लिए मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट कितना हो जाएगा? दिस 6 lakh डिवाइडेड बाई 1000, दैट इज 600 रुपीज. एक पाइप को बनाने में हमें कितना रुपया लग रहा है? 600 रुपीज. वी आर इन्वेस्टिंग 600 रुपीज टू मैन्युफैक्चर वन पाइप. नाउ इफ आई एम सेलिंग दिस 1000 pipes एंड दिस इज सेलिंग प्राइस पर पीस. सो 1000 प्राइस को अगर 1000 पाइप्स को अगर मैं सेल करूं तो एक पाइप कितने रुपए का जा रहा है? पर पीस लिखा है, यहां पे टोटल प्राइस है, यहां पे पर पीस है, इसलिए मैंने एक कंपेरेबल शुड बी कंपेयर्ड, राइट? तो यहां पे टोटल प्राइस दिया था. सो आई हैव फाउंड द वैल्यू ऑफ वन पीस. अच्छा, यहां पे 1000 पीस को इफ यू आर सेलिंग, देन आर सेलिंग प्राइस वुड बी 400 रुपीज. सेलिंग प्राइस वुड बी SP इज इक्वल टू फॉर 1000 प्राइसेस 400 रुपीज पर पाइप. एंड पर वन पाइप को बनाने में 600 रुपीज लग रहा था. सो नाउ यू कैन सी दैट कॉस्ट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इज 600 एंड कॉस्ट ऑफ एंड सेलिंग प्राइस इज 400. तो हमें मिल कम रहा है एंड वी आर इन्वेस्टिंग मोर. दैट इज दिस इज अ सिचुएशन ऑफ लॉस. This is a situation of loss. So this is not the answer. It is asking a minimum number of pieces so that we should not be at the loss. Let's say 2000 पाइप है, मैं 2000 ले लिया भाई. ऑप्शन के हिसाब से चलते हैं. 2000 लेते हैं. मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट 2000 पाइप्स के लिए, this point, this is 7 lakh rupees. 7 lakh for one pipe is equal to 7 lakhs divided by 2000. 2000 pipes की manufacturing cost is 7 lakh. So for one pipe manufacturing cost is this is, that is 350 rupees. So for if we are manufacturing 2000 pipes, then for one pipe the manufacturing cost would be 350 rupees. And here for 2000 pipe the selling price would is 350 rupees. Selling price is equal to 350 rupees per pipe and manufacturing cost is also 350 rupees per pipe. So मैं manufacture भी 350 पे कर रहा हूँ, sell भी 350 पे कर रहा हूँ. That is, this is the condition of no profit, no loss. So these are the minimum number of pipes that we should manufacture so that if we sell, so we should not be at the loss. इससे ज़्यादा करेंगे तो obviously now we will be, getting the profit. So this would be the answer. Minimum number of pipe so that we should not be at loss. ठीक है? कोई डाउट? सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, कोई डाउट की बात ही नहीं है इसमें, सिंपल है. So these kind of application based questions can be asked in the exam further. ठीक है? तो आपको ये देखना पड़ेगा कि इस तरह के आपको क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में दे might ask. So if you'll practice this question once or twice, so I don't think you will be facing any problem in the coming questions. Next question. Consider the following graphs. The curves in the graphs indicate different age groups in the population of two countries, country A and B, over a period of time. So ये country A है, this is population in millions. This is country B, population in millions. This is year. This is also years. Less than 15. So this line is less than 15. this dotted line is 15 to 64 and this line is 64 plus age population. Again I'll just make this is 64 plus, this dotted line is 15 to 64 and this is less than 15. ठीक है, ये अब कर्व दिया हुआ है पॉपुलेशन का. ठीक है, so this is the population of the people who are having the age between 15 to 64. This is the population of people less than 15 years of age and this is the line where 64 plus people are there, जिनकी एज 64 से ज़्यादा है. So in the year this is the population of these 1970, 1990, like this they have given you the information कि 1970 में if I'll make this, so these many people I'll get the values from here, that this is the value of people, number of people who are between the age of 15 to 64. This is the number of people who are below the age of 15 and this is the people who are having the age more than 16 years. ठीक है, ऐसे ही इसमें दिया हुआ है. नाउ दे विल बी आस्किंग सम क्वेश्चन. क्या क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है देख लेते हैं हम. विद रेफरेंस टू द अबव ग्राफ्स, which of the following are the most logical and rational inferences that can be made over the last 2.5 decades? 2.5 decades means last 25 years. Decade is 10 years, 2 decades 20 and half 25. The dependency ratio of our country B has decreased. What is dependency ratio? Dependency ratio क्या होता है? What is dependence? Dependence क्या होता है? Dependents वो लोग होते हैं जो किसी पे dependent होते हैं. कौन dependent होता है? Children. They are not earning. They are generally in education or they are in schools, so they are not earning. They are dependent on their parents. Elderly people, old age people, जो वृद्ध लोग होते हैं, they generally get retired and all. They don't work, so they are dependent either on, like generally they are dependent on their children in India, और उनका खुद का कुछ फंड हो तो. So they are also called dependents. So dependents दो होते हैं, एक जिनकी एज लेस देन 15 होती है, एक होते हैं जिनकी एज जनरली 64 से होती है. दैट इज द स्टैंडर्ड. एंड देयर इज वन दैट इज वर्किंग एज पॉपुलेशन. वर्किंग एज पॉपुलेशन like us, the age from 15 to 64 years, these are working age population. They are not dependent, they are working age population. If you are at this age bracket, then definitely you should be working. 15 to 64 के बीच में working age population होती है. ठीक है, so dependency ratio is working age population 15 to 64 divided by sorry डिपेंडेंसी रेशियो, ये चीज तो नीचे आएगी ना. डिपेंडेंसी रेशियो लेस देन 15 वाले और 64 प्लस वाली जो पॉपुलेशन है, एंड डिवाइडेड बाय 15 टू 64 वाली वर्किंग एज, इनके ऊपर ये डिपेंडेंट है. राइट, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड डिपेंडेंसी रेशियो. ठीक है, नाउ इफ आई कैलकुलेट what it is asking, over the last 2.5 decades the dependency ratio for country B has decreased. अच्छा, last 2.5 decades मतलब 2050 से 25 years back, मतलब यहां पे कहीं 2025 होगा. ठीक है, कंट्री बी का डिपेंडेंसी रेशियो पूछ रहा, डिक्रीज हुआ है. अब नाउ यू कैन सी डिपेंडेंसी रेशियो हैज डिक्रीज्ड. यू कैन सी this is dependent, this is dependent, so this is decreasing. So if I see this is decreasing, okay, this is increasing. 64 वाली population increase हो रही, 15 वाली less हो रही है, 64 वाली increase हो रही है. This is increasing, and 15 to 64 वाली slightly decrease हुई है, मतलब बहुत तेजी से हो रही थी, अभी भी increase ही हो रही है, but this rate of growth is decreased. Here slope was this, here slope reduced, so still it is increasing curve, but that means this population is increasing, but the rate of growth of this population has decreased. So it is still increasing, but this rate of growth is decreased. Now you can see डिपेंडेंसी रेशियो के बारे में पूछ रहा है कि भाई ये डिक्रीज हुआ है कि इंक्रीज हुआ है. यू कैन सी if new how you get some fraction has decreased or increased. Fraction, this is numerator, this is denominator. किसी भी चीज को इंक्रीज होने के लिए क्या चाहिए? If this increases then this increases. If this decreases, ये डिक्रीज कर रहा है तो ये फर्दर इंक्रीज कर जाएगा. If this is also increasing, तब ये देखना पड़ेगा कि कौन सा ज्यादा इंक्रीज कर रहा है. If this has increased more with compared to this, then this will be decreasing. इसका और इसका उल्टा रिलेशन होता है, इसका और इसका डायरेक्ट रिलेशन होता है. If this is increasing, this will increase. If this will decrease, this will increase. If this will increase, this will decrease. Like this. So here you can see this is decreasing, this is increasing. But if you can see from the curve, you can see this has decreased. Still it is more than this 64. So this reduction is more. So this is more. So ज़्यादा decrease हो रहा है. And this is increasing. This is increasing. That means this will decrease this curve. This is less. So ये इन दोनों का combined effect होगा, ये reduce होगा. And this below portion is increasing. It is increasing. So this will further decrease. So yes, dependency ratio will for country B will decrease. This is a correct option. Next I'll see, by the end of the next 2.5 decades, the dependency ratio of country A will be much less than that of country B. अच्छा, for क्या बोल रहा है? By the end of next 2.5 decades. Next 2.5 decades means if it is 2050, so here something would be 275. Next 2075. अब एक बात बताओ, डिपेंडेंसी रेशियो किसका ज्यादा होगा? Here you can see 15 to 64 population is decreasing. 15 to 64 population is decreasing, and here 15 to 64 population is increasing. भाई अब एक बात बताओ, ये दो तो कंपेरेबल ही नहीं है 15 and 64 के. This is much higher than this. This is much higher than these two. So the whole thing will be on this 15 to 64 graph. So here it will increase, so it will be like this 2075. Here it will further reduce. So now you can see that for A this is decreasing. For A this is decreasing. For A this is decreasing. That means dependency ratio will increase for A. For A dependency ratio will increase, but for B it is still increasing. So for B you can see this is increasing, so dependency ratio will decrease for B. So now it is by the end of the dependency ratio of country A will be much less than that of country B. No, it is increasing. So obviously country B का dependency ratio कम होगा. So this option is wrong. Why I haven't taken these two? Because these two are less values with compared to this. If I compare to this, because this is much higher from the graph. So this is, will just compare this value. इस value को हम neglect भी कर देंगे तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, बहुत near values हैं वो. And the third option is, in the next 2 decades, the workforce relative to its total population will increase in country B as compared to country A. What is workforce? Workforce is 15 to 64 population relative to its total population. Total means dependent भी होंगे, working population भी होगी. Will increase in country B as compared to country A. In next 2 decades, 2050. So here something would be 2070. So it is asking for 20 years, 2 decades. Here you can see working age population is increasing here. Here working age population is decreasing in country A. So obviously here working age population is increasing, here working age population is decreasing. So obviously this is workforce will increase in country B compared to country A, because here it is increasing, here it is decreasing. Total population में ज़्यादा बहुत फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, है ना? Because it will be reducing and this will increase. So obviously working age population for country B would be more. So this statement would also be correct. So the correct option would be statement 1 and 3. Is there any statement? Yes. Statement C, option C, 1 and 3 only would be the correct options. कोई doubt? ये समझ में आया न्यूमरेटर डिनोमिनेटर का? कौन कब बढ़ता है तो ये घटता है and all. So these kind of things this is an analysis kind of things, है ना. These kind of things they want, they need, they require some practice. If you'll practice once or twice or maybe thrice, then I think you'll be thorough with this topic कि क्या न्यूमरेटर इंक्रीज होता है, डिनोमिनेटर डिक्रीज होता है, किस टर्म को लेंगे, ज्यादा रैपिडली इंक्रीज हो रहा है, रैपिडली डिक्रीज हो रहा है, राइट. Okay, so we will move on to the next question. Okay. The graph given below indicates the change in key policy rates made by central banks several times in a year. Which one of the following can be the most likely reason for the central bank for such an action? अच्छा, CRR, repo rate, reverse repo rate. So these are economic terms. So if this kind of questions are being asked by UPSC, that means आप GS1 में तो पढ़ोगे ही ये इकोनॉमी के टर्म्स हैं, है ना. So UPSC has mixed the knowledge of economy as well as graphs. उन्होंने इकोनॉमी और ग्राफ्स को रिलेट कर दिया. तो व्हाट इज रेपो रेट, व्हाट इज CRR एंड व्हाट इज रिवर्स रेपो रेट? एवरीबडी नोज दिस. सो सेंट्रल बैंक इनको करता है जनरली, MPC मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी कमेटी करती है. व्हाट इज रेपो रेट? रेपो रेट इज, व्हाट इज रेपो रेट? रेपो रेट इज कि मैं बैंक हूं, लेट्स से मैं SBI हूं एंड यू आर RBI, रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया. मैं गया, मैंने कहा भाई SBI मेरे पास पैसा खत्म हो गया है, तो मैं RBI के पास गया कि सर आई वॉन्ट सम मनी, सम लोन फ्रॉम यू. लेट्स से SBI हैज वैनिश्ड ऑल द मनी, SBI के पास पैसा नहीं है, तो वो क्या करेगा? SBI किससे पैसा लेगा? मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है इंडिविजुअल, एज एन इंडिविजुअल, देन आई विल गो टू SBI कि SBI आई वांट टू बाय अ हाउस, प्लीज गिव मी सम मनी. ठीक है, SBI के पास गया मैं, तो मुझे SBI दे देगी. पर SBI के पास खत्म हो गया तो किसके पास जाएगा? SBI विल गो टू RBI. RBI के पास गया, नॉक किया, RBI प्लीज गिव मी सम मनी. तो RBI फ्री में पैसे नहीं देगी ना, हर कोई पैसा इंटरेस्ट पे देता है. If SBI will giving me loan, then also they will charge some interest rate. Similarly, RBI will also charge interest rate. तो अब अगर बैंक RBI के पास जाता है, बैंक RBI के पास जाता है, तो RBI ने बैंक को पैसे दे दिए कि भाई ये लो पैसे, बट इन लिeu ऑफ सर्टेन सिक्योरिटीज, गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, और क्या करेगा? कुछ इंटरेस्ट चार्ज करेगा. इट्स 4%, 5%, 6%. अब एक बात, सो दैट इंटरेस्ट चार्ज इज कॉल्ड रेपो रेट विच इज चार्ज्ड बाय RBI टू अदर बैंक्स. अब मुझे एक बात बताओ कि भाई पहले इंटरेस्ट 4% था, अब इंटरेस्ट RBI ने रेपो रेट बढ़ा के 5% कर दिया, तो क्या एज ए SBI विल आई गो टू RBI दैट फ्रिक्वेंटली? पहले मुझे लेट्स से 100 रुपीज का लोन लिया, तो आई नीड टू रिटर्न 104 रुपीज, 4% इंटरेस्ट है रेपो रेट. बट अब RBI ने 6% कर दिया, तो मैं अगली बार 100 रुपए लूंगा तो RBI को मुझे 106 रुपीज देने पड़ेंगे, तो इंटरेस्ट महंगा हो गया, राइट. सो मैं क्या करूंगा कि नहीं, आई विल नॉट टेक दैट लोन्स वेरी फ्रिक्वेंटली बिकॉज आई नीड टू गिव मोर इंटरेस्ट. अब एज SBI मैं लोगों को लोन दे रहा हूं, ठीक है, तो अगर मुझे इंटरेस्ट 6% देना है तो मैं लोगों से भी ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट लूंगा. उनसे 8 ले रहा था तो उनसे 10 लूंगा, राइट. सो लोन्स विल बी एक्सपेंसिव फॉर पीपल ऑल्सो. तो लोगों के पास भी पैसा, लोग भी बैंक से लोन नहीं लेंगे, बैंक पैसा नहीं लेगा RBI से, बैंक के पास पैसा नहीं लोन देने के लिए, और लोग भी नहीं लेंगे बिकॉज इंटरेस्ट इज एक्सपेंसिव. सो नाउ पीपल डोंट हैव मनी, लेस मनी. अब बताओ इन्फ्लेशन क्या होता है? इन्फ्लेशन इज महंगाई. हाउ दिस वर्क्स? इन्फ्लेशन कैसे काम करता है कि भैया डिमांड और सप्लाई का खेल है सारा. डिमांड और सप्लाई का खेल है. कैसे कि पहले किसी चीज के 10 खरीदार थे, हर किसी को एक चाहिए, और 5 और 15 चीजें थी मार्केट में. चीजें ज्यादा है, डिमांड सप्लाई ज्यादा है, 15 चीजें 20 चीजें भरी हैं, और डिमांड कम है, 10 ही लोग को चाहिए वो, तो ऑब्वियसली प्राइस उसका कम होगा, और प्राइस कम कर देगा दुकानदार कि अरे यार ले जाओ, खत्म करो जो भी है. बट इफ देयर आर ओनली 2 थिंग्स एंड देयर आर 15 पीपल फॉर दोस 2 थिंग्स, जैसे कोविड में हुआ, ड्यूरिंग कोविड, कि हर चीज की ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर्स का क्या हुआ? लेट्स से देयर वर 100 ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर्स और देयर वर 10,000 पेशेंट्स, देन व्हाट हैपेंड? प्राइस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर्स इंक्रीज रैपिडली. एम्प्टी सिलेंडर्स का 30,000 40,000 रुपीज ले रहा था इन दिल्ली, राइट. सो सप्लाई बढ़ गई, सॉरी डिमांड बढ़ गई, सप्लाई नहीं है, तो प्राइस विल इंक्रीज, है ना. अब बताओ जब रेपो रेट बढ़ गया तो मनी इन द हैंड्स ऑफ पीपल लेस हो गई। जब लोगों के पास पैसा ही नहीं है तो मैं खरीदूंगा कैसे सामान? लेट्स से आई वांट टू बाय अ मर्सिडीज, तो मर्सिडीज मैं कैसे खरीदूंगा? मेरे पास पैसा होगा, मेरे पास पैसा ही नहीं है, लोगों के पास पैसा ही नहीं है, तो देन दे विल नॉट डिमांड फॉर मर्सिडीज, राइट? व्हेन दे विल नॉट डिमांड, व्हेन दे डोंट हैव मनी, देन ऑब्वियसली डिमांड विल बी गेटिंग रिड्यूस्ड। सप्लाई ज्यादा है, डिमांड कम है, डिमांड सप्लाई खूब आ रही, डिमांड कम हो रही है, इसका मतलब प्राइस विल डिक्रीज। दैट इज दिस विल कंट्रोल इन्फ्लेशन। लोगों के पास पैसा ही नहीं है तो ऑब्वियसली महंगाई भी नहीं होगी। खूब पैसा है मेरे पास 10,000 करोड़ है, किसी के पास 20,000 करोड़ है, तो ऑब्वियसली आई विल डिमांड फॉर मर्सिडीज, अनदर विल डिमांड फॉर 5 मर्सिडीज, आई विल डिमांड फॉर 1 मर्सिडीज। सो ऑब्वियसली डिमांड विल इंक्रीज, तो सप्लाई उतनी बढ़ नहीं पाएगी, वो तो अपने हिसाब से जिस स्पीड से मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होती है उससे करेंगे। देन व्हाट विल हैपन? द कॉस्ट ऑफ व्हीकल विल इंक्रीज, सो इन्फ्लेशन हो जाएगा, महंगाई बढ़ जाएगी। If I have money, so if repo rate is in the, if we sum up in the crux, if we increase the repo rate, then what happens? This is used to control inflation. Repo rate if increases, then it is used to control inflation. Second, reverse repo rate क्या होता है? रिवर्स, अब आरबीआई जाती है बैंक के पास कि भाई मुझे कुछ पैसा चाहिए बैंक से, then what bank charges, that is called रिवर्स रेपो रेट। CRR क्या होता है? कैश रिजर्व रेशियो। देयर इज अ एक कैप होती है कि बैंक हर, ऐसा नहीं है कि सारा पैसा बैंक लोगों को बांट देगा, सारा बांट दिया और उसके बाद डिफॉल्ट हो गया तो बैंक के पास पैसा ही नहीं बचा, लोग लेके भाग गए पैसा, देन व्हाट विल हैपन? सो फॉर दैट स्टेबिलिटी, कैश रिजर्व रेशियो, एवरी बैंक हैज टू सबमिट अ पोर्शन ऑफ देयर फंड्स टू द आरबीआई विद द आरबीआई। कैश रिजर्व रेशियो, ठीक है, आप लेट्स से 20% है, 100 में 20 रुपीज है, तो 20 तो आरबीआई की चला गया, तो बैंक अब केवल उन्हें 80 में लोन दे सकता है, 20 तो उनको आरबीआई के साथ जमा करना पड़ेगा। दैट इज कैश रिजर्व रेशियो। सो हियर यू कैन सी दिस कैश रिजर्व रेशियो इज कांस्टेंट, वेरी नाइस। रेपो रेट इज इंक्रीजिंग विद अ फास्टर रेट, हियर दिस इज लाइक दिस, ठीक है, और इट इज कॉन्टिन्यूअसली इंक्रीजिंग, हियर ऑल्सो इंक्रीज्ड, then also increase, then further increase, then further increase, then further, a continuous increase in repo rate, लगातार repo rate increase कर रहे हैं, मतलब लोगों से लगातार पैसा सक कर रहे हैं, that means inflation नहीं होगा। that why it is being done? It is done to control inflation, so correct option would be anti-inflationary stance. This is the anti-inflationary stance, means RBI doesn't want inflation right now, they want to control the inflation. That is why this stance is called anti-inflationary stance, ठीक है? Increasing the liquidity, no, they are taking the money out from the pocket of people, they are sucking the money from the market, so this is not increasing the liquidity. So this is for anti-inflationary stance. This you will better be studying in the economics subject, but still I have explained in a very layman term so that आपको समझ में आ जाए if you have any doubt in repo rate and all, ठीक है? चलो next question. Okay, so direction for the following two items. The following table gives the GDP growth rate and tele density data of different states of a country in a particular year. Study the table and answer the two items that follow. What is tele density data? What is tele density data? So tele density data, density क्या होता है? एक एरिया में कितने लोग रह रहे हैं। टेली डेंसिटी मीन्स एक एरिया में कुछ लोग रह रहे हैं, सो हाउ मेनी टेलीफोन्स, टेली फिक्स्ड कनेक्शंस आर देयर इन दैट एरिया। लेट्स से 100 पीपल, 100 पीपल में कितने टेलीफोन कनेक्शन, लेट्स से 20 टेलीफोन कनेक्शन है, दिस इज टेली डेंसिटी। टेलीफोन कनेक्शन और इंटरनेट कनेक्शन और वॉइस कनेक्शन, समथिंग और द अदर, सो दैट इट इज गेटिंग कनेक्टेड टू द टेलीकम्युनिकेशन मीडियम, सो दिस इज टेली डेंसिटी डेटा, ठीक है? फॉलोइंग टेबल गिव्स द जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट, दिस इज जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट, दिस इज पर कैपिटा इनकम एंड दिस इज टेली डेंसिटी। स्टडी द टेबल एंड आंसर द टू आइटम दैट फॉलो, ठीक है? क्या पूछ रहा है? With reference to the above table, which of the following is are the most logical and rational inferences that can be made? Higher per capita income is generally associated with higher tele density. Generally, जनरल टर्म है यार, ऐसा नहीं है कि ये हर जगह फॉलो होता है, पर मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स दिस स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. सो लेट्स सी कि क्यों है कि नहीं है. हायर पर कैपिटा इनकम is generally associated with higher tele density. Higher per capita income, tele density बढ़िया है यार. देखो higher per capita income 704, tele density 70. Per capita income is थोड़ा सा less, but tele density is still 35.88. Higher per capita income थोड़ा सा कम हो गया, but tele density is good. Here you can see per capita income is okay in average, but tele density is very less. So I can see that statement 4 is an exception. Again you can see per capita income tele density बढ़िया है, per capita income is good, per capita income is good, but here also you can see per capita income is good, average, but tele density is very low, very low, extremely low. So statement 8 is also an exception. Then this is also good, this is good, this is good, this is good. So you can see generally this statement is getting followed. और यहाँ पे कोई इतना exceptionally low tele density data नहीं है. So these two, statement 4 and 8 are the exceptions for the first statement. But generally this statement is getting followed. And generally this term is given, so what we will think, we will take this statement as correct. कि generally ये statement सही हो रहा है, दो जगह ये इतना appropriately follow नहीं कर रहा है. But okay, out of let's say 10 or 15 cases are given, 18 states are given. If it is not getting followed in 2 states or 3 states, then doesn't matter. Generally it is following in 15 or 16 states. So that is first option is correct. Now, higher GDP growth rate always ensures higher per capita income. So now we need to check कि higher GDP growth rate always ensures higher per capita income. मतलब अगर हमें इस स्टेटमेंट का एक भी एक्सेप्शन मिल जाएगा तो दिस स्टेटमेंट विल गेट रॉन्ग, because it shows always. So higher GDP growth rate always ensures higher per capita income. Higher GDP growth rate is good. Higher per capita income, okay, right? GDP growth rate, okay, GDP growth rate. But higher GDP growth rate always ensures higher per capita income. You can see GDP growth rate is very high. It's good, 10.83, almost 11. But per capita income is reduced. It is not getting followed here, yaar. Here GDP growth rate is 5, per capita income is 419. And GDP growth rate is almost 11, almost double. And per capita income is getting halved. So this statement third is an exception for this statement. Statement 3 is an exception, and we have found one statement which is making this statement wrong. So we will take this statement as wrong. क्योंकि always हमें क्या एक statement पता करना था जो कि इसको गलत कर दे, and we have found out. Now, higher GDP growth rate does not necessarily ensure higher tele density data. Higher GDP growth rate does not necessarily ensure higher tele density. मतलब हायर जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट होने पे हायर टेली डेंसिटी है ऐसा नेसेसरी नहीं है. दिस स्टेटमेंट इज सेइंग. सो हायर जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट पे टेली डेंसिटी इज हाई, हायर जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट टेली डेंसिटी इज ओके, हायर जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट टेली डेंसिटी इतना ज्यादा इंक्रीज नहीं किया है. एंड हियर यू कैन सी जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट इज वेरी लो, not very low, 9.78, no, is okay, but टेली डेंसिटी इज good. But here you can see GDP growth rate is very high, 5 point, almost double, but tele density is increased. So we can see GDP growth rate is increased, tele density is also increased, but not at that speed. ठीक है, तो higher GDP growth rate does not ensuring higher tele density. Here you can see GDP growth rate is less than 10, but tele density is 70. Here tele density is only 50. Here you can see GDP growth rate is good, almost 10, but tele density is very low, 6. This is wrong. Higher GDP growth rate or tendency is very low. So yes, this statement is correct, that higher GDP growth does not necessarily ensure higher, because GDP growth rate was almost 10 but terry density was almost 5, so not necessarily ensure higher terry density. Yes, generally होता है, GDP growth rate ज़्यादा होगा, terry density ज़्यादा होगी, GDP growth rate ज़्यादा होगा, terry density ज़्यादा होगी, but here it is not getting followed. So ये necessary नहीं है, this is not a rule. So this statement is also correct. So option 1 and 3 would be correct. So option C is correct, 1 and 3. कोई डाउट इसमें? सिंपल था, तो आपको कंपेयर करना था उसको, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ओके, विद रेफरेंस टू द above table, the following assumption have been made. Nowadays, prosperity of an already high performing state, high performing state क्या होगा? जिसका GDP growth rate ज़्यादा होगा, that is high performing state, cannot be sustained without making further large investments in its telecom infrastructure. So it is saying that if a state is high performing, that is the GDP growth rate is high, but this growth cannot be sustained if we don't invest further in the telecom infrastructure. Let's see from the table. GDP growth rate, okay, ठीक है, GDP growth rate, ठीक है, but here you can see GDP growth rate is high, but terry density is not that high. That shows कि even if terry density is low, the infrastructure of telecommunication is very less, but still GDP growth rate is very high. Here is good. Here also you can see that GDP is almost, growth rate is almost 6%, but terry density is very low. So these two statements depict that even though the tele density is very less, that is the infrastructure on telecommunication is low, but still the state is performing well, GDP growth rate is very good. So that means we can see that nowadays prosperity cannot be sustained without making further large. No, in some states we saw the GDP growth rate is very high even though the tele density was low, that is we have not invested that much in the telecom infrastructure, still that state is performing well. Nowadays a very high tele density is the most essential condition for promoting the business and economic growth in a state. High tele density is the most essential condition for promoting the business and economic growth in a state. Again we'll see. So now you can see, again if you see here, tele density is 76.12 and GDP growth rate is almost 11. Tele density is 77.5, GDP growth rate is almost 12. But here you see the tele density is too much, is higher, it is 77.5, it is almost 105. And even still GDP growth rate is decreased, it is almost 12, it is almost 9. GDP growth rate has decreased by 3%, even though tele density is increased rapidly. So this shows कि भले हमने tele density में, that is telecommunication sector में we have invested a lot, but still we are not getting that GDP growth rate result. GDP growth rate बल्कि decrease हो गया है. Even though GDP growth rate is good, but if we compare these two, we can see tele density has increased but GDP growth rate is decreased. So if anybody says कि भाई tele density is the most essential condition for promoting the business and economic growth, so no, there will be some other factors, because I saw one case where tele density has increased rapidly but still growth rate has decreased. So no, this is not the most essential condition for the economic growth. So this statement is also wrong. So the correct option would be neither 1 nor 2. Okay, so these are the two statements, neither 1 nor 2. Which of the above assumptions are valid? So you can see, so you need not to answer these questions on your previous knowledge कि नहीं यार telecommunication तो बढ़िया होना चाहिए for the development of the state. नहीं, ये आपको ग्राफ की मदद से ही करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? Okay, so now we will move on to question number 16. Question number 16. So in this question was asked in the year 2018. 2018 में ये पूछा गया था. So they have given you some curve, and now what are they asking? The following graph indicates the composition of our tax revenue for a period of 2 decades. Means tax revenue for 20 years they have given. कहाँ से कहाँ तक दिया है? 1990 to 2010 तक दिया है. ठीक है. Now they have mentioned these notations for the taxes. So excise is direct line. So this is excise duty. Customs with this line dot. So I think this would be custom. This would be customs. Then corporate tax is this dot. So this is corporate tax. Personal income tax is this line. So this is personal income tax, and this is service tax, the last one. Okay. ठीक है. So first you need to know what are all these taxes. ठीक है. For this, again what UPSC did, they mixed two concepts. First one is they use the concepts of economics, taxes, taxation, and second one is now they have used this in graphs, and then they made a question of data interpretation. ठीक है. So in a very short, I will tell you कि what are all these taxes. Excise duty. Excise duty कब लगती है? Whenever a product is manufactured in India and it is coming out of the factory, तब जो टैक्स लगेगा उस पे आफ्टर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, दैट इज एक्साइज ड्यूटी. कस्टम्स इज जनरली इंपोर्ट में लगता है. व्हेनेवर वी आर मेकिंग एनी इंपोर्ट, वी आर बाइंग एनीथिंग फ्रॉम अब्रॉड एंड इट इज कमिंग टू आवर टेरिटरी, देन जनरली वी लेवी अ टैक्स दैट इज कॉल्ड कस्टम ड्यूटी. एक्सपोर्ट पे भी लगता है बट दैट इज नॉट जनरली इंपोर्ट पे लगता है. कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स, देयर आर कंपनीज इन इंडिया, companies functioning in India, and then they pay a certain tax on their earnings, that is corporate tax. Personal income tax, that what an individual pays on their earnings. Let's say I am earning some money or you might be earning some money, then you will give certain tax to the government according to the tax slabs. That comes under personal income tax. And service tax is what you pay for services. जैसे आप रेस्टोरेंट में गए है ना, कई बार वहां पे टैक्स लगता है. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड सर्विस टैक्स. नाउ व्हाट आर दे आस्किंग? विद रेफरेंस टू द अबव ग्राफ, व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग आर द मोस्ट लॉजिकल एंड रैशनल इन्फरेंसेस दैट कैन बी मेड ड्यूरिंग द गिवन पीरियड? द रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम डायरेक्ट टैक्सेस एज परसेंटेज ऑफ ग्रॉस टैक्स रेवेन्यू हैज इंक्रीज्ड व्हाइल दैट ऑफ इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस डिक्रीज्ड. ठीक है. अब इसमें दो टर्म आ गए, डायरेक्ट टैक्स एंड इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स. So what are these terms? So if I see, direct tax क्या होता है? Direct tax is generally the direct tax is something which is borne by the person on whom the tax is levied. Did you get the thing? मतलब let's say गवर्नमेंट ने मेरे ऊपर टैक्स लगाया और मैं ही पे कर रहा हूं टैक्स डायरेक्टली टू द गवर्नमेंट. लेट्स से मेरा इनकम टैक्स है, सो आई एम अर्निंग सम मनी. गवर्नमेंट हैज सेड कि मिस्टर प्रखर गिव मी 1 लाख रुपीज एज टैक्स. नाउ दिस 1 लाख इज ऑन माई अर्निंग एंड आई एम पेइंग टू द गवर्नमेंट, सो दिस कम्स अंडर डायरेक्ट टैक्स. बट देयर आर सम टैक्सेस which are levied on somebody but is borne by somebody else. Example, excise duty for example. अब भाई लेट्स से कोई 10 रुपीज का प्रोडक्ट था, गवर्नमेंट ने आफ्टर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इसमें 2 रुपीज टैक्स लगा दिया. दिस प्रोडक्ट हैज बिकम 12 रुपीज. इफ दिस टैक्स वुडंट हैव बीन देयर, कंपनी माइट आस्क फॉर 15 रुपीज फॉर दैट प्रोडक्ट. 10 रुपीज का प्रोडक्ट था, 5 रुपीज कंपनी ने प्रॉफिट रखा एंड 15 रुपीज का सेलिंग प्राइस था. बट एज गवर्नमेंट हैज पुट 2 रुपीज टैक्स, so what company will do? Company will not bear that tax. So company will transfer these 2 rupees here. Now company will sell this product at the final price of 17 rupees. So even though the tax is levied on the company, but it is borne by the consumer who is ultimate buyer of the product, right? So this is called indirect tax. This is not direct. Indirectly somebody else is paying the tax for somebody else on whom the tax is levied. ठीक है? So direct tax अगर मैं इसमें मानूं, so there are two direct taxes here. So what are those two direct taxes? That is income tax, personal income tax plus corporate tax. This tax has to be paid by the company or firm itself. Indirect tax would be remaining to excise duty, custom duty. That is why when you import some product and the government levies some custom duty on it, then the product gets expensive. Why? Because company adds this custom duty on that product. And then service tax. Even though service tax is levied, let's say on restaurant has to pay certain service tax to the government, but what the restaurant does, they add this to your bill. This is called indirect tax. ठीक है? Service tax. Now what in the question they say? During the given period, the revenue from direct taxes as percentage of gross tax revenue has increased while that of indirect tax decreased. अच्छा, gross tax revenue will be revenue from direct taxes plus indirect taxes both. ठीक है? Now if you say direct tax कहाँ पे है? Has increased while that of indirect taxes decreased. अब मैं डायरेक्ट टैक्स को रेड से डिनोट करता हूं एंड इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स को ग्रीन से डिनोट करता हूं. तो मैं डायरेक्ट टैक्स वाले मार्क करता हूं. डायरेक्ट टैक्स क्या है? पर्सनल टैक्स, दैट इज दिस, एंड कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स. कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स, you see this personal tax, this is increasing and further increasing. It has decreased slightly, but still it is increasing from here, then here it has increased up to here. It has decreased slightly, but still it has increased for a long range. And corporate tax also you can see increased and further increased. So you can see this direct tax, personal tax has also increased, corporate tax has also increased. Very nice. बढ़ रहा है. पर्सनल टैक्स यहां तक बढ़ा था, बहुत फॉर शॉर्ट स्पैन, मे बी फॉर एन ईयर और टू केवल डिक्रीज हुआ है, और वह भी बहुत ज्यादा डिक्रीज नहीं हुआ है, स्लाइट डिक्रीज हुआ है. इफ आई सी इन इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस, एक्साइज decreased and here it got some constant, so it has decreased. कहां से कहां तक डिक्रीज होके आ गया है? कस्टम्स decreased further decreased, slightly increase हुआ है, but इतना डिक्रीज हुआ है. And service tax has increased, but service tax increased further, and here it became constant. But now see, service tax is too low. It is percentage of gross tax revenue. It is only 5%. The maximum amount is somewhat 7 or 8. If you add this line, this is very low. Excise from approximately 42, 43, it reached to the 50 to 20 range. Custom duty also between approximately 37, 38, it reached to approximately 17, 18. But indirect personal tax, but income tax, it has started from 10 and reached up to approximately 20. And this corporate tax, it has started from 10 and it has reached up to some point approximately at 40. So now you can see what in the starting indirect tax percentage was. Here this also reduced, this all slightly increased. So in the starting, if you see, in the starting, in gross tax revenue, direct tax was less, because direct tax was here 10 something 10, and indirect tax was too high. IDT high, 45, 35 something. But you know, with time it decreased, and at the end 2010, indirect tax is somewhat, indirect tax reduced. So now indirect tax is less, and this direct tax has increased very rapidly. Now direct tax is high. So now if in the option it is saying during the given period the revenue from direct taxes as percentage of gross tax revenue has increased. Yes, while indirect tax has decreased. Yes, in the gross tax revenue now direct tax has increased and indirect tax is decreased. So statement 1 is correct. So this is a correct statement. Now, the trend in the revenue from excise duty demonstrates that the growth of manufacturing sector has been negative during the given period. Growth of manufacturing sector has been negative during the given period. So where is excise duty? Here it is excise duty. So you can see excise duty decreased, 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 decreased. Here it is increased very slightly. So after you can see 2009-10 or somewhere in between, it has increased slightly. So yes, no doubt excise duty has decreased, है ना? And here it has increased for a little period of time. So it asks, the trend in the revenue from excise duty demonstrates that the growth of manufacturing sector has been negative during the given period. First, it has increased for the last 1 year or 1.5 years. ठीक है, तो growth तो negative वैसे भी नहीं होगी for those 1.5 years. If it is decreasing, 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 that means growth is getting negative. But for last 1 year it increased. So in that 1 year or 1.5 years, definitely the manufacturing sector has improved. तो ये it has not been negative. अगर ये पूछता कि has been negative for a larger period of time, that would have been correct. But ये तो बोल रहा है कि पूरे period के लिए नहीं. Second, so this statement gets wrong anyhow. Second, you cannot tell about the manufacturing sector or as a whole कि पूरा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर ही नेगेटिव था इवन दो एक्साइज ड्यूटी डिक्रीज्ड. अगर वो कॉन्टिन्यूअस डिक्रीज भी करती एक्साइज ड्यूटी, कॉन्टिन्यूअस एक्साइज ड्यूटी अगर डिक्रीज भी करती तो भी मैं ये नहीं बोल सकता था कि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर नेगेटिव हुआ है. ये नहीं बोल सकता था मैं. क्यों नहीं बोल सकता था? क्योंकि देयर आर सो मेनी फैक्टर्स फॉर द नॉन वर्किंग ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर. और फॉर द ऐसा हो सकता है कि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ज्यादा हो रही हो पर एक्साइज ड्यूटी ज्यादा ना आ रही हो. लेट्स से टैक्स इवेजन हो रहा हो, इवन दो आई एम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग द प्रोडक्ट बट समहाउ आई एम एबल टू नॉट पे द टैक्स टू द गवर्नमेंट. सो व्हाट गवर्नमेंट विल सी, गवर्नमेंट विल सी यार एक्साइज ड्यूटी रेवेन्यू तो कलेक्शन कम हो रहा है बट एक्चुअली मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर इज नॉट एट द लोअर साइड, इट इज वर्किंग वेल. But now because of tax evasion, government is not getting excise duty completely. So only from the curve of excise duty revenue, we cannot tell that manufacturing sector is performing well or not. Definitely well तो मैम फिर भी बता सकते हैं, not performing well we cannot say. Yeah, as a whole we can tell yeah it is working well or not, but very precisely I cannot tell. Because for the manufacturing sector, whether it is working well or not, there are other factors also that you need to consider apart from excise duty. Okay, so anyhow this statement is wrong. So the correct option would be statement 1 only. A option is correct. Fine. So this question contains the concept of economics as well. So that is why UPSC में कोई कहीं से भी पूछ सकता है. Next year they might give you some concept of geography and they might mix that concept of geography with CSAT and they might ask you. So you need to be ready with these kind of questions, and these are very easy questions if you know some basic things. And definitely if you are taking the GS1 paper for prelims and you have read economics, then definitely these concepts are relatively very easy for you. You just need to apply those concepts, apply your knowledge into these CSAT questions, in these graphical questions. Okay, now we'll move on to next question. Okay, This question was asked in the year 2015. The graph below depicts the earnings of A and B over the period. So this is time and this is earnings of A and B. Which one of the following can be concluded? First option, on the average A earned more than B during this period. Now on an average it is asking about. So you can see for this 7 years period, 2000 to 2007, A is higher than B. And here A is lower than B, but this distance is less. What this shows? This shows the difference in the earnings of A and B. This shows the difference in earnings between A and B. So here you can see earning of A is much higher than B in comparison where B is higher than A. वहाँ पे difference कम है. Even though earning of B is higher than A, but the difference of earnings of A and B is less. Here that difference is more, and this difference is more for more number of years. Let's say for example, ये तो यहाँ पे less है, increase हुआ, further increase, reduce. So like this. Let's say on an average this difference is 10 rupees and here this difference is 3 rupees. For example. Now you see, so here this difference is 10 rupees on an average. यहाँ पे 2 रुपए होगा, 5 रुपए होगा, 15 रुपए होगा. So I have taken that average because it would be higher than this. This difference is higher and this difference is higher for a longer period of time. So difference is higher for 7 years. So this total difference in the earning would be 7 into 10 is equal to 70 rupees. So A की earning B से कितनी ज़्यादा है? 70 rupees ज़्यादा है. In this year, this difference is 3 rupees and this difference is for lower period of time, only for 3 years. So 3 into 3, in 3 years total 9 rupees. B has earned 9 rupees more than A, and here A has earned 70 rupees more. So very easily you can say that in this given period from 2000 to 2010, the average earning of A is more than B. So this option is correct. Okay. Second, on the average B earned more than A. No. We have found that A earned more than B. The earnings of A and B were equal during this period. No. We already concluded that the earning of A is more than B. The earnings of A were less as compared to B during this period. No. First, we can average earning is more of A than B. So obviously the earning of A were less as compared to B. No. This is also not wrong. This is also wrong. Because earning of A is more than B. Average earning of A is more than B. So the correct option would be only option 1, that is option A. Only 1 is correct. So that you can see from the graph. Okay? So these are simple questions based on the graphical representations. Okay. So we'll move on to the next question. This question was again asked in the year 2015. Year-wise variation of the price of a certain commodity is shown in the following graph. So this is price of the product, the price of the commodity in the, and this is the year. And now it is asking the price of the commodity in the year 1990. 1990 में price of the commodity पूछ रहा है. कुछ नहीं है, ग्राफ को देखना. कैसे ग्राफ को देखते हैं? Let's say this is some graph. This is x. This is 1. For any value of x, if you want to calculate the value of y, you make a straight line which would be parallel to y, and then you reach at this point and you connect this line. So whatever value of y you are getting, that would be the value of y corresponding to x. And similarly you find x if you know the y value. So price of the commodity in the year 1990, price is at the y axis. तो 1990 is x axis. तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, इससे मैं एक straight line खींचता हूँ. This is a straight line, and now I'll mark this point and I will make a line parallel to x-axis. So this would be the price of the commodity with respect to year 1990. This price I see it is between 10 rupees to 20 rupees. I don't know the exact amount, but I can tell यार ये amount जो है ना 10 रुपए से 20 रुपए के बीच में कुछ होगा. So must have been rupees 10? No. Must have been rupees 12? No. must have been anywhere between rupees 10 and 20. Yes, it is anywhere between 10 and 20 that I can see from the graph. Is higher than that in the year 1991. अच्छा 1991 में, let's see ये 1991 है. As this is an increasing curve, then आप ये देखोगे कि 1991 में जो प्राइस है that would be higher than 1990. So this option is wrong. What is an increasing curve? Increasing curve means if this is an increasing curve, this is x, this is y, and if this is an increasing curve, that means with increasing value of x, you will get increasing value of y. Here you can see with this x, you get only this y. With this x, you get higher y. And with further, the x value, when the x value has been increased, then you will get even higher value of y. So that is increasing curve. With the higher values of x, you are getting higher values of y. What is decreasing curve? With the increasing value of x, you are getting lower values of y. Right? So as this was an increasing curve, so obviously 1991 के corresponding जो y का value होगा, that would be higher than 1990. That you can see from the curve also. Here it is between 10 to 20. So the correct option would be option C, must have been anywhere between rupees 10 and rupees 20. So it is a very simple question. It just needs that you should know how to read a graph, how to get the values from the graph. ठीक है? So now we will move on to the next question, question number 19. And that has been asked in the year 2014. Okay, so in which directions for the following 4 items, 4 questions have been asked from this graph. So this is the importance of this graphical questions, that sometimes they might give you one graph and then they might ask you 3 to 4 to 5 questions. So that makes these questions very important. कि आपने एक बार ग्राफ को ठीक से पढ़ना सीख लिया, then you will be able to do 4 questions at once, है ना? So the following graph shows the average profit of 2 fruit sellers A and B. So this is average profit in thousands. This is in y-axis. A and B, A and B हैं, 2 fruit sellers हैं, ठीक है? Per year from the year 1995 to 2000. So this is year 1995 से 2000 के बीच में दिया है. Sorry. So consider the graph and answer the 4 items that follow. So you can see, so this is a straight line. If you see, this is a straight line. This is not a tilted line. This is a straight line. This is a straight line. This is B. This is curve B. Now, in which year is the average profit of A and B same? A and B का average profit किस year में same होगा? So when 2 things get same, कैसे? अच्छा, let's say मुझे किसी को मिलना है. Let's say I meet somebody. I want to meet my friend. Okay, I want to meet my friend Aniket, for example. Then how will I meet him? Let's say he lives in Bangalore. So there are 2 things needed. First, the place should be same, and the second, the time should be same. Means if he lives in Bangalore, I live in Delhi, so if I want to meet him, so either I should be in Bangalore or he should be in Delhi. That means the place should be same. Second, the time should be same. Let's say मैं जब Bangalore गया, वो है ही नहीं, वो अपने घर गया है. So even though I am in Bangalore, but I cannot meet him because he is not there. So for meeting anybody, you need 2 things. First thing is time. Second thing is place. So now if A and B, if their average profit needs to be same, that means at the same time their profit, the rupees should be same. Time भी same होना चाहिए, rupees भी same होना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं कि 5 rupees हुआ है 2000 में, उसका 2010 में हुआ है, तो कैसे same हो जाएगा, है ना? When same price हो same year पे, तो अब देखो आप, where they will intersect, जहाँ पे intersect करेंगे वहाँ पे intersect means if this line is intersecting this line, so at this point, let's say this line intersecting this point, so at this point these 2, this curve and this curve has this common value, same value. So this curve, this is intersecting at this point. At this point this curve A has same value, that is 4, and at this point this curve A and B both are same value and the average profit is 4. So if I draw a line perpendicular to y-axis. This meet to the year 1996. So the correct answer would be 1996. At this place also they are having same profit, right? So this would be some year, I think 2000 भी होगा, but 2000 option नहीं है, so yes, the option would be 1996. So the average profit is same at 2 point, at this point, and also at this point also, in between 1997 to 1998. So the option is 1996 that is given. Okay. What is the difference between the average profit of B and A in the year 1998? What is the difference between the average profit of B and A in the year 1998? तो 1998 में हम B का प्रॉफिट निकाल लेते हैं और A का प्रॉफिट निकाल लेते हैं, दोनों में क्या डिफरेंस है? सो B 1998 में B is, if this is 1998, this is B, so B is 4 and it is in 1000. So profit of B in 1998 is 4000 and profit of A in 1998 is, A अगर इधर है, this is A, इसको अगर मैं इधर मैच करूं, so it would be 5 would be somewhere here, 3 4, so it would be 3.5 something here, so this would be I think 3.4 approximately 3.4 होगा, 3.3 होगा, उससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं होगा. So let's say 3.4. So that means what is the profit of A? 3.4 into 1000, that is 3400. Why 1000? Because this average profit is given in 1000. So even though it is written 4, it means 4000. 3000, 2000. So 400, 3400. Now, what is the difference between the average profit of B and A? So now B is having more profit, A is less profit. That means B is getting more profit, it is earning more. So the difference would be 4000 minus 3400, that is 600 rupees. So is there any option? Yes, 600, and this would be plus. What plus means? It is asking difference between the average profit of B and A. Because B is having more profit than A, so it would be plus sign. Minus sign कब होता? अगर A का profit ज़्यादा होता, है ना? So now it is asking profit of B with respect to A, and B is earning more, then yeah, correct option would be option C. Now, 2 more questions from this curve. How much more average profit did A make in the year 2000 than in the year 1999? How much more average profit did A make in the year 2000 than in the 1999? तो if A 2000 में कितना है और 1999 में कितना है, ये मुझे दोनों देखना है. 2000 ये 2000 है. 2000 में A कितना अर्न कर रहा है और 1999 में A कितना अर्न कर रहा है? 1999. So this is 1999. So ये सब सिमिलर है, ये स्ट्रेट लाइन होगी, एंड दिस 2000 वाली लाइन, दिस वन. So at 2000 and A curve is this below wala. So here if I see at this year 2000, this value is, in the year 2000 this value is, no sorry, I have made a wrong diagram, just a second. Just a second. 2000 वाली लाइन ये है, they have already made the dot. So this and this is 1999. So 2000 का अगर मैं इसको straight line से match करूं, this is a straight line, then this value is 6000, and if I add this line to this, so this would be similar straight line, so this would be 4000. So the difference in the profit of 2000 and 1999, that would be 6000 minus 4000, that means 6,000, इसमें 4,000, so difference will be 2,000. Option D, 2,000 is the correct option. Okay. Now, the last question of this paragraph. What is the trend of the average profit of B from the year 1997 to the year 2000? Trend of the average profit of B from 1997 to year 2000. हाँ, B वाला कर्व कौन सा है? ये वाला, दिस कर्व इज B. ठीक है. अब मुझे इसमें ट्रेंड कहां से पता करना है? इफ आई select by yellow, 1997, that means 1997, this point to 2000. So here, from here you can see this is a straight line, it is a constant, increasing, further increasing. So from 1997 to 2000, if you see the trend of B, the profit earned by fruit seller B, you can see that first it was constant for an year, then it has increased, and then it has further increased. Even though rate of growth is rate of profit is decreased, slope is less here it is higher, it is less slope. So yes, rate of profit is low, but still it is increasing. So here it is constant, increasing, further increasing. So it has increased continuously. Either it was constant or it has increased. So if you can see, curve is non-increasing. This is wrong. It is an increasing curve, and it is constant and then increasing. It is a non-decreasing curve. Yes, it was first constant, that it increased, that it further increased. So nowhere it decreased. So it is a non-decreasing curve. It is a steady curve. No, it is a steady only till this portion. For that 1997 to 1998, it was a straight line. Fluctuating, no. Fluctuating क्या होता है? Increase, decrease, constant, increase, decrease, increase, decrease. No, it has not decreased anywhere. It was only constant and then it increased. So the correct option would be option B, non-decreasing. कोई डाउट इसमें? सिंपल था, बस आपको कर्व देखना है, ध्यान से मेजर करना है उसको, and then you will be able to solve all the questions. Okay, next question. Now, this question was asked in the year 2014, and it is asking, the following table gives population and total income of a city for 4 years. ठीक है, year ये दिया हुआ है 1992, 1993, 1994, 1995. Population in lakh, 20 lakhs, 21 lakhs, 22 lakhs, 23 lakhs, and income in crore, इतना crore दिया हुआ है. ठीक है. Which of the following statements is correct in respect of the above data? Which of the following statements is correct in respect of the above data? Population increased by 5% or more every year. It is asking whether the population has increased by 5% or more every year. तो ये हमें चेक करना पड़ेगा. तो अब एक बात बताओ, अगर हम 1992 से 1993 देखते हैं पॉपुलेशन, तो पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीज इज 21 minus 20 divided by 20 into 100, right? So this is 1 by 20 into 100, 5. So yes, so between 92 to 93 the population increase was 5%, 5% or more. Yes, so it seems that statement 1 is correct, you know, at the first level. So आप कैसे चेंज निकालते हो, कैसे पता चलता है इंक्रीज हुआ नहीं? मैंने कैसे किया, फाइनल वैल्यू माइनस इनिशियल वैल्यू अपॉन इनिशियल वैल्यू जिससे कंपेयर कर रहे हो. हियर यू कैन नॉट राइट 21, हियर यू राइट 20, 21 minus 20 upon 20 into 100. So that you will see how much change would be the from year 1992 to 1993. If I see from here, if I see from here, Yes, 22 minus 21 divided by 21 into 100. So this would be 1 by 21 into 100, and 1 by 21 by 100. 21 into 5 is 105. So this would definitely be less than 5. It would be approximately 4 point something. So this is definitely less than 5 because 21 into 5 is 105. It is 100. So this is less than 5. So definitely it has not increased by 5% or more than 5%. It has increased by less than 5%. So this option is wrong. ठीक है, ये तो wrong हो गया. अगला देखते हैं. Now if I see sorry, the correct option B. ऑप्शन बी में अगर देखता हूं, इनकम इंक्रीज बाय 10% और मोर एवरी ईयर. इनकम का मैं देख लेता हूं. 1992 टू 1993, 1111 माइनस 1010 divided by 1010 into 100. So if I minus this is 101 101 upon 1010 into 100. So this 0 0 this is 1, this is 10. So yes, here this income has increased by 10%. Now if I check for option 2, this for this year 1993 to 1994. (1993 to 1994). So the 1225 1111 1111 into 1000. So if I see the difference is 114 1111 into 1000. So if I write like this, 10 I cut here, I use this, so this would be something 1 point something and into 100. So this would be greater than 10. This would be greater than 10. This would be greater than 10. So obviously here also the difference is greater than 10%. Wow, very nice यार. दो में हमें 10% ज़्यादा मिल गया, एक में और मिल जाए तो हमारा ये ऑप्शन सही हो जाएगा. Did you get मैंने कैसे कैलकुलेट किया? वेरी इजी. मैंने कैसे कैलकुलेट किया? How did I calculate? Here the difference was 114 1111 into 1000. अब I don't want full calculation. So what I did, ये 1111 I know. So if I 1111 into 1 1111. So अगर मैंने इसका एक 0 हटा के इधर पे कर दिया, so and if I divide this, so it will this division will definitely be greater than 1 point something, and 1 point something into 100, that would be 10 point something, so that would be greater than 10, right? चलो अब अगर मैं ये देखूं कि थर्ड के लिए whether this is valid or not. (1 3 4 5 minus 1 2 2 5 1 2 2 5 into 1000 into 100, sorry. So 0 120 1225 into 100. This would be this would be 120 itself. No, this is 120. This is 4. This would be 480 by 49. 480 by 49. Now if you see 49 into 10 is 490, but here it is 480. So this is whatever the solution is, this would definitely be less than 10, because 49 into 10 490, but this is 480, so this is definitely 10. So this change is less than 10%. So this option also gets wrong. इतनी मेहनत सब पानी बर्बाद हो गई है ना? क्यों? क्योंकि here 10% more than 10%, but here we got less than 10%. So this option is also wrong. Now we'll look for the option C. Now I will look for the option C. Per capita income. It is not per capital, per capita income. Per capita income. What is per capita income? Income, total income upon population. Matlab, if let's say 100 people are earning 200 rupees, then what is the per capita income? Total rupees earned 200 divided by number of population, total population 100. 200 by 100, 2 rupees means how much one person is earning. So one person निकालना है. So this is 1 0 10. Let's say अब now I am calculating per capita income 1992 के लिए. Total 1010 crore. 1010 crore. That means if I multiply 100 in this, that would be lakhs. And population is it? So this is population itne lakh rupees. And here population is 20 lakh. So lakh cancel. 20 into 5, 5. So this would be 5050 rupees. This is the in 1992. Now if I see 1993, why I multiplied 100? Because 1 crore is equal to 100 lakhs. Then this 1010 crore means into 100. These many lakhs. Why I cannot into lakhs? Because the population was given in lakhs. So to get the same unit, so that हम इसको कट कर सकें और हमें per capita income मिल जाए. ठीक है. Population in lakhs. Per capita income was rupees. ठीक है. 1993 में क्या है? 1111 into 100 upon 21. So this would be approximately 52 point something. So this would be 5200 something. More than 52 point something. So if multiply this would be 5200 something. 1994 का अगर मैं देखूं 12 into 100 by 22. So if I see this is 50, something like this. So if I multiply this, 5565 rupees, something like this. So for 1992 the amount is 5050. For 1993 amount is 5200. For this amount is 5565 for 1994. Okay, something like this. So I'm just having the rough calculation because it is asking always above rupees 5000. So our benchmark is 5000. So yeah, this is above 5000, this is above 5000, this is above 5000. कितना है कैलकुलेशन के बाद that I need not to know. This is above 5000, this is above 5000. अगर मैं लास्ट के लिए भी अगर चेक कर लूँ if it is above 5000 तो हमारा ये ऑप्शन सही हो जाएगा. तो 1995 के लिए देख लो आप. 1995 के लिए कितना हो जाएगा? 1345 divided by 23 into 100. So if I calculate 5 115 means 195. 195 means 23 58 point something into 100 something 58 point something into 100. If you divide this, so this would be 58 point something, so that would be this would be greater than 5800. So yes, this is also more than above rupees 5000. So the correct option would be, or this option is C. C is correct. Per capita income of all in all the years was above 2000. Here 5050 more than 5200 approximately 5565, here it is more than 5800. रफ कैलकुलेशन कर लिया मैंने. Now per capita income was highest in 1994. 1994 में 5565 है, so it is higher than 1992 and 1993. But 1995 में तो 5800 से भी ज़्यादा है. That means per capita income is not highest in 1994, it is highest in 1995. So this option is also wrong. So the correct option is option C. Per capita income was always above rupees 5,000 rupees. Okay. So this question was very easy. The only thing was this calculation was, I won't say tough, it was time taking. But if you are good at calculations, or you have that idea, you need not to calculate full. If you just get 58 point something, so it would be more than 5800, so you will get the answer. So according to the answer you need to do the calculation, for saving your time. Otherwise this question doesn't have anything new. It was a simple question. Okay, so I will move on to the next question. So this question was asked in the year 2013. Okay. Now it is saying X men working at constant speed. Just a second. Working at constant speed do a certain job in Y days. Y is days, X are men. Which one of these diagrams shows the relationship between X and Y? अच्छा, एक बात बताओ, more number of men, more men, then definitely less days. Less men, then definitely more days. कम आदमी है तो ज्यादा दिन कहाँ लगेगा काम करने में, ज्यादा आदमी है तो उसी काम को करने में लेस टाइम लगेगा. So obviously this curve shows as number of men increasing, number of days are increasing. This is wrong. This is an increasing curve. Here it is shows what आप men कितने भी बढ़ा लो, number of days आपको इतने ही लगेंगे. नंबर ऑफ मेन आप कितने भी बढ़ा लो, नंबर ऑफ डेज आपको एक ही लग रहा है. सो नो, ज्यादा बढ़ाओगे तो नंबर ऑफ डेज कम हो जाएंगे. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो रॉन्ग. नाउ दिस कर्व शोज जैसे जैसे मेन बढ़ाओगे नंबर ऑफ डेज कम होंगे, राइट. बट हियर इट शोज कि अगर आपने इतने मेन कर लिए तो डेज लगेंगे ही नहीं. ऐसा थोड़ी ना होता है. दिस इज नॉट मैजिक. इवन इफ यू एम्प्लॉयड 100,000 पीपल, but still it will take some time to do that work. It might be a second, it might be a microsecond, but it cannot be कि आपने zero time ही नहीं लगा. You employed many people and then it didn't take even a second. So this is wrong because it shares at this point when you will hire this number of men, it will take 0 days. No, नहीं हो सकता. बहुत कम टाइम लगेगा, बहुत कम टाइम लगेगा, but that time cannot be 0. It won't be magic, right? You need to do certain work. Then in working, even it might take a microsecond, but this will take some time. So this graph is also wrong, and this shows as number of men increasing, number of days are decreasing, and it is saying that after a certain time, if you have employed so many men, then the time will take nearly 0, very 0. But this is not touching it. That means it is not getting 0 days. बहुत कम टाइम लग सकता है, मे बी 1 hour लगे, half an hour लगे, 1 second लगे, but it will take some time. So this is our correct graph. So this would be our correct option. So option diagram 4 is the correct option. इसको मैं एक मैथमेटिकल तरीके से भी कर सकता हूँ. Men को I have represented X men and Y days. So you can see more men, less days, less men, more days. That means X is directly proportional to 1 by Y, or X is inversely proportional to Y. X is inversely proportional to Y means as X is increasing, Y decreasing. As Y is decreasing, X is increasing. So if X is directly proportional to 1 upon Y, that means X is equal to some constant K into 1 upon Y. Right? Now cross multiplication, X into Y is equal to K, some constant. Then this XY into K, this is the ग्राफ ऑफ अ हाइपरबोला, और हाइपरबोला का कर्व ये होता है एक्स वाई. दिस इज एक्स, दिस इज वाई, कर्व ऑफ हाइपरबोला, दिस इज राइट. सो दिस इज अ टेक्निकल टर्म, थोड़ा सा मैथमेटिक्स हो गया ये. यू कैन जस्ट रिमेंबर कि हाइपरबोलिक कर्व ऐसा आता है, कभी लाइफ में ऐसा हो एग्जाम में आपके. बट इवन इफ यू डोंट नो दीज टेक्निकलिटीज, यू नो द बेसिक्स कि मैन और डेज में क्या रिलेशन होगा, देन this question will be very easy for you to identify. You can eliminate these two options, then you can see ये तो नहीं हो सकता because how many number of men you employ, you cannot get 0 days, so this is also wrong and this would be the correct option. ठीक है, चलो. So this was asked in the year 2013. Now we'll move on to the next question. So this question was asked in the year 2013, and from this question they have asked 5 questions. You can see कि 5 questions पूछ रहे हैं इससे, है ना. So that is the benefit of graphical questions. From one graph, 1 or 2 graphs, they can give you 5 questions, 5 into 2.5 to 12.5 marks only from one question, and that is a very easy question. So this graph is given number of professors in the selected disciplines in a university by sex. Physics, mathematics, chemistry, botany, psychology. ये number of professors है, ये subject है, और male is dark and female is this by grayish color, gray dot. And this is age of physics professors. 35 to 44 के बीच में ये है, 25 to 34. So this is, I just write 35 to 44. 25 to 34 is this line. This diagram is 60 to 65. And this is 45 to 59. ठीक है, ठीक. चलो अब मैं अपना पहला क्वेश्चन देखता हूं. क्वेश्चन के हिसाब से वी विल इंटरप्रेट दिस कर्व. हाउ मेनी फिजिक्स प्रोफेसर्स बिलोंग टू द एज ग्रुप 35 to 44? How many physics professors belong to the age group 35 to 44? So if I see physics professors, so first I'll see how many number of physics professors. So total physics professors, physics, there are 32 males and 8 females. 32 male and 8 females. That means 32 males plus 8 females. That is, there are total 40 physics professors. How many physics professors are there? Total 40 physics professors are there. Very nice. Now, this is age of physics professors. So how many physics professors are in the age bracket of 35 to 44? 35 to 44 का ये है, 40% physics professors are in the age group of 35 to 44. 35 to 44 के बीच में कितने हैं? 40%. So total number of professors are there. 40% of this number is in the age group of 35 to 44. So 40 का 40% अगर मैं निकाल लूँ, that would be the number of physics professors who belong to this age group. So 16. So the correct option would be option B, 16. कुछ भी डिफिकल्ट था इसमें? So simple. It is so simple. है ना, बस आप देखो, कर्व देखो, कंपेयर करो, and you just find the value, and this is very simple. बार ग्राफ अगर आपको पढ़ना आता ही है, कुछ है ही नहीं, so just और in this question they have made it very easy. They have, marked the lines, so there is no question of confusion. In some bar graphs you need to make the straight line, and if that line is straight, then there will not be any chance of any mistake. Chalo, next question. Which one of the following disciplines has the highest ratio of males to females? Males to females. तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, सारे सब्जेक्ट में मैं मेल और फीमेल लिख लेता हूँ. फिजिक्स में मेल, फीमेल. मैथमेटिक्स में मेल, फीमेल. केमिस्ट्री में मेल, फीमेल. एंड इकोनॉमिक्स में मेल, फीमेल. तो फिजिक्स में 32 मेल, 8 फीमेल. मैथमेटिक्स में 28 मेल, 8 फीमेल. केमिस्ट्री में 16 मेल and approximately 22, because 20 to 24, this is approximately at the midpoint. 20 to 24 के बीच का midpoint क्या हो जाएगा? 22. तो 16 by 22. Male 16, female 22. And economics में male is 24 and female is 8. So if I will get the ratio of male by female, so here this ratio comes 32 by 8, that is 4. Here 28 by 8, 3.5. Here 16 by 22, this would be less than 1 because number of females are more, number of males is 1, so obviously this is less than 1. And this is 24 by 8, this is 3. So where is the highest ratio? 3, 3.5, 4. So obviously 4 is the highest. So physics subject has the highest ratio of male to female. Chemistry को मैंने calculate नहीं किया because 60 here number of females are more. So obviously this is less than 1. कोई doubt? नहीं, simple question था इसमें, very simple. ठीक है. Now I'll see the next question. What percentage of all psychology professors are female? So what I'll do, मैं psychology में देख लेते हूँ कि कितने मेल हैं कितने फीमेल हैं, ठीक है. Then I'll find the total number of professors and then I'll calculate. Psychology कहाँ है भाई? Psychology 4 males हैं and this is in between. So this would be 4 and 8 के मिड में लगभग 6 हो गया. How did you get the midpoint? 8, 4. Difference is 4. तो 4 by 2, 2. So यहाँ पे 2 ऐड कर दो या इसमें 2 माइनस कर दो तो 6. So this is 6. Psychology. So if I see, so psychology has 4 males, 6 females. That means total 10 professors. How many professors are there in the psychology? 10 professors. So how many female professors in percentage? 6 female. Total 10 professors into 100. 60% females. So option C, 60% is correct. कोई doubt? Very simple question. Simple questions. There is nothing to be, you know, कुछ भी टेंशन या इसमें स्ट्रेस एंजाइटी की बात ही नहीं है. It's very simple. These simple questions are there. Now, this 28th question. If the number of female physics professors in the age group 25 to 34 equals 25% of all the physics professors in that group, then what is the number of male physics professors in the age group 25 to 34? So when you will be reading this question, you might find difficulty. चलो यार ये क्या पूछ रहा है यार, कुछ भी मतलब लिखा हुआ है. So one by one हम कर देंगे इसको. Number of female physics professors in the age group 25 to 34. So physics professors 32 male, 8 female. 25 to 34 का age group है this one, 30%. So that means female physics professors in 25 to 34 age group, total physics professors is equal to 30%, I think. 30% है. And total professors physics में है 32 plus 8, 40 physics professors total 40 physics professors. Then total physics professors in this age group is 25 to 34, 30%. So this number would be 40, 30%, total 12. So there are 12 physics professors in the age group. So physics professors in 25 to 34 age group is equal to 12. Got it? ये मैंने निकाल लिया because total 30% थे. Total number of professors were 40. तो 40 का 30% 12 हो गया. Now it is asking number of female physics professors in the age group equals 25% of all the physics professors in that group. So in that group there are 12 physics professors. If I get 25% of this number of physics professors in the group 25 to 34, that would be equal to number of female physics professors. Number of female in this age group 25 to 34. 25 to 34 में total 12 है. But I need to find how many females are there in this group. then it is given कि इस number का 25% is equal to number of females in that group. So this 3. So there are total 3 females in this age group of 25 to 34. So there are total 3 females in the age group 25 to 34. It is asking number of male professors, physics professors. Now total is 12 physics professors. इसमें female 3 हैं, then male would be 12 minus 3, that is 9. So there are total 9 male physics professors in the age group of 25 to 34. So the correct option would be option A, 9. Any doubt? Simple था, कुछ भी ऐसी डाउट की बात नहीं थी. If you'll just read one line by line, word by word, then and you will be writing, you'll be doing whatever it asks in the question to do. आप वैसे करते जाओ, step by step you will get the answer automatically. So now we'll move on to the next question. So this is the last question of this paragraph. ठीक है? Now, if the psychology professors in the university constitute 2% of all the professors in the university, then what is the number of professors in the university? अच्छा, let total professors in the university is X. Psychology में there are 4 plus 6. Total psychology professors कितने हैं? Psychology professors 4 plus 6, that is 10. Now it is saying if the psychology professors in the university constitute 2% of all the professors, that means if I get total number of professors, इसका 2% निकालूं, that would be equal to the number of psychology professors. Number of psychology professors is 10, right? So if I calculate this, X is equal to 100 into 10 by 2, that is 500. So total number of professors in the university would be 500. Option B, 500 is the correct option. कोई डाउट? कुछ भी नहीं है, सिंपल. ठीक है? So now you can see that how easy these questions are. Very simple questions. Bas percentage and all this very basic things they ask. Now we'll move on to next question. So this question was asked in the year 2011. So what this question asks is, consider the following distance time graph. The graph shows 3 athletes A, B and C running side by side for a 30-kilometer race. So this A, B and C are the athletes. Okay. With reference to the above graph, consider the following statements. The race was won by A. Now you can see this distance of 30 kilometer. Race is 30 kilometer. So 30 kilometer is the distance that everybody needs to cover. इसमें time है. अच्छा, कोई let's say 35 minutes में cover कर रहा है, कोई 25 minutes में cover कर रहा है. तो whoever will be taking more time, तो वो slow दौड़ रहा है. If I am covering some distance in 35 minutes and somebody is covering that distance in 20 minutes, then who is running fast? जो 20 minutes में cover कर रहा है. Whoever is taking less time, that is covering, that has a higher speed. What is speed? Speed is equal to distance upon time. If time is more, then speed would be less. And if time is less, then speed is more. Right? So speed and time has inversely proportional they are to each other. If time is increased, speed reduce. कोई चीज मैं 1 घंटे में ट्रैवल कर रहा हूँ, कोई आधे घंटे में ट्रैवल कर रहा है, तो whoever is covering the distance in half an hour, that means his or her speed is more than the person who is covering the distance in 1 hour. So okay. Now you can see the race was won by A. So you can see at this distance, the minimum time is taken by A. The minimum time is taken by A. है ना? A is taking the minimum time. then B and C. C तो cover ही नहीं कर रहा, C is not even reaching to this point. C after this time, C, I think C has stopped, it is not running. तो C तो पहुंचा ही नहीं. B is taking that much time, A is taking less, even lesser time. So A is taking the minimum time. So if A is taking the minimum time, then the race was won by A. रेस कौन जीतता है? सबसे कम टाइम में पहुंच जाता है डेस्टिनेशन में, ठीक है. B was ahead of A up to 25 kilometer mark. To 25 kilometer mark. So if this is 25 kilometer mark, I think okay. So now you can see here, this is A. So here in the starting, A is taking more time. B is taking less time than B. But when they reach 25 kilometers, you can see in 25 kilometers, this B, this is A, this is B, this is C. So here you can see B was here, A is here, B is here. So you can see in 25 kilometers, B is taking less time and A is taking more time. So obviously B is ahead of A. Why? Because B is taking less time and A is taking more time. So if B is taking less time means that B आगे दौड़ रहा है, तेज दौड़ रहा है, A पीछे है. So yes, B was ahead of A up to 25 kilometer mark. This is correct option. C ran very slowly from the beginning. C कहाँ है भाई? C. But if you see, even though C didn't complete the race, you see in the starting distance में सबसे, let's say 10 kilometer distance में C is taking this much time. B even C is taking only this much time. B ने तो इतना टाइम लिया और A ने तो और टाइम ले लिया. Then C has taken this much time. So always C is taking the least time than B and A, from the starting. So even in the starting, C is running very fast because it is taking the least time with respect to A and B. A and B की comparison में C जो है minimum time ले रहा है ना? A and B की comparison में C is taking the minimum time. So obviously if it is taking minimum time to cover the same distance, then obviously it is running very fast in the starting. I don't know what happened at the later stage, but in the starting it was running very fast. So C ran very slowly. No, it ran very fast. So the option would be 1 and 2 correct. Option B, 1 and 2 only would be the correct option. कोई डाउट इसमें? कोई डाउट का है नहीं, सिंपल है. ठीक है, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. The following figure has 4 curves, namely A, B, C and D. Study the figure and answer the item that follows. This is population and this is some year, AD. ठीक है? And now it is asking which curve indicates the exponential growth. Exponential growth क्या होता है? Growth which is very rapid. बहुत तेजी से ग्रो हो रहा है, बहुत तेजी से ग्रो हो रहा है. That is exponential. ठीक है, बहुत तेजी से ग्रो कर रही है कोई चीज. अब देखो, if I see this curve, curve A, so curve A is first increasing, but then it is decreasing. So A is not the answer. Why? Because it is not exponential growth. First increasing and then decreasing. No. Then after that growth has reduced. B, it is a growth, but it is a constant growth. This is also wrong. It is increasing with a constant speed. It is not a rapid growth. If I'll see D, so D in the starting you can see it is almost constant and then it increased. So it is a growth. In first 1600 years there is no growth, 1400 years there is no growth, then it increased slowly. This is a slow growth. So D is also not correct. If I see C, so you can see C, it has from the starting itself it has increased and not at a constant speed. At this speed, as a rapid speed, this is increasing. So obviously C is the showing the exponential growth. I would also want to tell you one thing. Exponential, even though this is a mathematics thing, but I'll tell you, exponential is e to the power x. So e to the power x का curve कैसे होता है? If this is x, just a second. If this is x, this is y, then e to the power x का curve होता है. From here it starts. This is 0, this is 1. So this is the curve of e to the power x. Now you can see this exponential growth. So C is depicting this curve, e to the power x. समझे? So this is exponential growth, very rapid growth. And e to the power minus x is this curve, e to the power minus x. But you need not to know all these technicalities. I just wanted to tell what is exponential growth. The exponential growth is, here this value is 1, then here this value suddenly increased here, and then after some time it increased here. So you can see that the growth is very rapid. So that is why it is called exponential growth. Okay, next question. Okay, so this question was asked in the year 2011. The following pie charts show the breakup of disease categories recorded in the patients from two towns, town A, okay, and town B. Town A, and this is not picture, this is pie chart. Pie charts plot the disease categories as percentage of the total number of patients. Based on these, answer the two items that follow the charts. Okay, in town A, you can see there are some other diseases, diabetes, high BP, heart disease, and this is number of percentage of people who are suffering from these diseases. Same is in town B. Now the question is asked, which of the following towns has a higher number of persons with diabetes? Town A में diabetes is 18%, town B में diabetes is 24%. So I'll write the option as town B. ठीक है? But this is wrong, yaar. This is wrong. Why this is wrong? Because it is not asking who has the higher percentage of persons suffering from that disease. Higher number of persons. So how will I get the higher number? Then when I will be knowing the population of A. Let's say A has 100 people. है ना? Then there will be 18 people from the diabetes. And then if B has also the 100 people, then it would be 24 people. Then you can say that, yeah, B has the more number of people who are suffering from diabetes. If A has 100 population and B has 50, then there are only 12 people suffering from diabetes. 50 into 24 by 100, 24% of 50. And here you'll get 18 people. Then B has less number of persons suffering from diabetes. So you cannot tell which town has the more number of persons with diabetes disease unless or until you know the total population of town A and town B. Then only you calculate the exact precise number from these percentages, right? So this is wrong, this is wrong, same, no, I cannot tell. So no inferences can be drawn would be correct, because if I don't know the exact population, how can I tell that whether town A has more number of diabetes suffering patients or town B? So I cannot tell unless or until I know what is the total population. What can we say about persons with more than one disease from these graphs? More than one disease. ठीक है, more than one disease कैसे पता करते हैं? तो percentage, if I add all these, if I add 13 plus 18 plus 13, 24 plus 34, this would be 100. So if I add all these, that is 100. So that means 100%. 100%. That means there is no person who has more than one disease. सबको अलग-अलग diseases हैं. That is why it is getting 100%. 18% को diabetes है, 13% को ये है, ये. Now if I add this, 20 plus 24 plus 19, 30 plus 28, 93, 121. 121. Now you can see this is 121 percentage, but percentage is 100. There are still 21% extra people are coming. तो एक्स्ट्रा तो होंगे नहीं, पॉपुलेशन अगर परसेंटेज है तो मैक्सिमम 100 ही हो सकता है. इफ इट इज गेटिंग 121, दैट मीन्स देयर आर सम पीपल हु हैव बीन एडेड ट्वाइस. मतलब कुछ लोग ऐसे होंगे जिनको डायबिटीज भी है, हाई बीपी भी है, हार्ट डिसीज भी है. दैट मीन्स देयर आर सम पीपल हु हैज मोर देन वन डिसीज. तभी तो ये आ रहा है, इट इज मोर देन 100. अदरवाइज हाउ इन अ परसेंटेज कैन कम ग्रेटर देन 100? It cannot come. It can only come when certain number or certain persons are getting added twice. So yes, so it means there are some persons who has more than one disease, and here you are getting exact 100% same. That means nobody is added twice, means everybody has a different disease. No person has more than, like, no person has two or more than two diseases. So that means there are likely to be persons with more than one disease in town A. No, galat. There are likely to be persons with more than one disease in town B. Yes, it is very likely. With more than one disease in town B, two or more than two. There are likely to be persons with more than one disease in both. No. No inferences. No. So the correct option would be option B, that it is very likely that there are some people who has more than one disease in town B. So that is the correct option. Okay, it was a simple question. First was very easy. Second was also very easy if you know just that concept, and this concept has been discussed in the Venn diagram question. Hindi, English, Telugu. So there would be some people who speaks both Hindi, English, Telugu, Hindi, or all the three. Then only that sum gets higher than the total number of given speakers. So that we have discussed very well in the Venn diagram question. Now, if I see this question, consider the following velocity time graph. So again, this is VT graph. This is 0. This is T naught. Okay. So consider the following VT graph. It shows two trains starting simultaneously on parallel tracks, train A, train B. With reference to the above graph, which of the following statements is not correct? Now you see, VT graph में क्या होता है? Area of VT graph shows distance. Second, the slope of VT graph shows acceleration. That means how rapidly the velocity is getting changed. Now if I see, train B has an initial acceleration greater than that of train A. So how do you get acceleration? Acceleration is slope. Slope कैसे निकालते हैं? Initial. So I just make a tangent here. So this angle is theta. So this theta 1 is the slope of train B. And train A का slope कैसे होगा? ये line तो straight line ही है. So this angle from the base, theta 2. So obviously theta 1 is greater than theta 2. Then tan theta 1 is greater than tan theta 2. So tan theta 1 is the slope of B is greater than tan theta 2 slope of A. You can see इसका initial ज़्यादा है, and this slope is shown by, this slope is actually acceleration. So yes, this statement is correct. Train B has initial acceleration more than A, and this we have discussed already. Ki how do we calculate slope and all? Okay, train B is faster than train at all times. Train A, yes, you can see here from the starting itself, you can see that velocity. This train B is always higher than A. Sorry, this is higher than A, right? Train B is always higher than A, and this, so, and y-axis is showing velocity. So here the gap of velocity is this, and finally at T naught it is same. So obviously train B is faster than train A at all times. Yes. Both trains have the same velocity at time T naught. Yes, at T naught you can see both have same velocity. They have reached to here and they have similar velocity of this point. So yes, this is also correct. Now both trains travel the same distance in time T naught units. So how do we calculate distance? For train B, if this is curve of train B, then distance is the area. So this means this area under this curve. So this red curve is the distance covered by train B, and train A का distance कितना हो जाएगा? Area of this triangle. So this. So obviously you can see the area covered by train B, that is red wall, is more than train A. The area is not same. So obviously the both trains travel the same distance. No, this is wrong. They travel the different distances, and where train B has covered more distance because the area is more. And this is very easy. In the same time, the velocity of train B has always been higher. इसकी स्पीड ज़्यादा है, उतने ही टाइम में तो वो ज़्यादा चलेगा, तो इसका डिस्टेंस भी ज़्यादा कवर हो जाएगा. So this option is wrong, and it was asking which statement is not correct. A, B, C are correct statement. So our option would be option D, which is the not correct statement. ठीक है, कोई डाउट नहीं है, सिंपल है. चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Now if I see directions for the following 3 items, read the passage given below, study the graph that follows, and answer the 3 items given below the figure. So this is time, this is number of bacteria. This is time, this is number of bacteria. During a party, a person was exposed to contaminated water. A few days later, he developed fever and loose motions. So first he was exposed to contaminated water. After certain days, he developed fever and loose motions. तो क्या होता है, जैसे मैंने गंदा पानी पी लिया या कुछ हो गया, then it will take some time for bacteria to develop the disease, or sometimes when symptoms will be showing in my body. आज ऐसा नहीं मैंने पानी पिया और तुरंत बीमारी हो गई. It will take 1 day or 2 day or 3 days to show the symptoms. Then I will show the symptom कि I will be having fever or loose motions. Then he suffered for some days before going to a doctor for treatment. Then what we do in the starting, कि let's say we have fever, then for starting 1 day or 2 day or 3 days we wait कि यार डोलो 650 से काम चल जाएगा. फिर नहीं होता, then we go to the doctor. On starting the treatment he soon became better and recovered completely a few days later. Treatment start हुआ, थोड़ा थोड़ा better हुआ, and after certain days completely a few days better. The following graph shows different phases of person's disease condition as regions A, B and D. So this region is A, this region is B, this region is C, this region is D, this region is E, and this is the disease condition of the person. With time number of bacteria बढ़े तो disease बढ़ी यहाँ पे, then number of bacteria reduce होने शुरू हुए, मतलब disease उसकी धीरे धीरे खत्म हो रही है. Now what is the question? Which region or regions of the curve corresponds to the incubation phase of the infection? तो what is the incubation phase? Incubation phase वही होता है कि after exposing to the bacteria or virus, how much time I am taking to develop my first symptom. Let's say after getting exposed to the bacteria or virus, I am taking 3 days to have any symptoms, fever. So that 3 days time period, that is called incubation period. मतलब जैसे ही आप फर्स्ट सिम्टम शो हुआ, एक्सपोजर आज हुआ, और मुझे 2 दिन बाद मुझे फर्स्ट सिम्टम शो हुआ, देन द इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड इज ओवर. इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड जैसे ही फर्स्ट सिम्टम शो हुआ, इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड इज ओवर. सो नाउ इट इज आस्किंग इंक्यूबेशन फेज ऑफ द इन्फेक्शन. दैट मीन्स जब वो एक्सपोज हुआ बीमारी से, एंड द टाइम व्हेन ही showed the symptom for the first time, that time gap is incubation period. So if I see here number of bacteria, यहाँ से वो expose हुआ, and then here 0 से start हुआ, और यहाँ it has, you know, यहाँ पे इससे थोड़ा सा बैक्टीरिया बढ़ा, और यहाँ पे इसने, because it has rapidly increasing the bacteria, so here it is showing the symptom at the first level, है ना. तो यहाँ पे ये थोड़ा सा दिखा रहा है. सो फेज ए will be corresponding to the incubation period, because after A infection is increasing rapidly, that means bacteria increasing rapidly, its symptom दिखाई दे रहे हैं, तेजी से बढ़ रहा है. So only in A here this is the incubation period where it is very normal, bacteria बहुत rapidly नहीं बढ़ रहे हैं, अचानक से बढ़े, और यहाँ पे इसने अपना फर्स्ट सिम्टम शो किया. ठीक है. Which region of the curve indicates that the person began showing the symptoms of the infection? Symptoms कैसे दिखाएगा भाई? यहाँ पे जैसे ही गया, यहाँ पे इसका incubation period खत्म हुआ. So that means just at this point it showed the first symptom. That is why the incubation period is over. That means it is showing the infection in the curve B for the first time. Began showing. तो कहाँ पे उसने symptom दिखाया? Phase B में. Okay. Now which region of the curve indicates that the treatment yielded effective relief? Effective relief पूछ रहा है भाई. तो अब नाउ हियर यू सी, यहाँ इन्फेक्शन डेवलप हुआ, यहाँ पे ये डॉक्टर वगैरह के पास गया होगा, ट्रीटमेंट मिला, जब ट्रीटमेंट मिला तो धीरे धीरे बैक्टीरिया, नंबर ऑफ बैक्टीरिया इज गेटिंग रिड्यूस्ड, बट स्टिल एट द फेज सी पे थोड़ा थोड़ा कम हुआ, स्टिल इंक्रीजिंग बट द रेट ऑफ ग्रोथ डिक्रीज्ड, एंड इन डी यू कैन सी दैट नंबर ऑफ बैक्टीरिया इज गेटिंग रिड्यूस्ड बट स्टिल बहुत ज्यादा बैक्टीरिया है बॉडी में, स्टिल रिकवर नहीं हुआ है completely. Even though he is getting better, but he is not at the complete relief. But now you can see in the phase E, here the bacteria number is reducing very rapidly. At this point, at the end, you can see that the number of bacteria almost became zero. That is, bacteria are vanished at this phase E. So at this phase E, even though he is getting relief at D, but complete relief उसको कहाँ मिला है? Phase E में, जहाँ पे number of bacteria zero हो गए हैं. So our correct option would be option E. Which one of the following indicates that the treatment yielded effective relief? Effective relief किस में मिला उसको? Phase E में. ठीक है? So this was a very simple question. So if you know what is incubation period, then I think this would have been a cakewalk for you to solve these questions. Okay. So now we have completed this topic of data interpretation. So for the starting 15-20 minutes of the lecture, they are very important. This will they will prepare a base for you to solve all the questions that we have discussed. My humble request would be कि आप एक बार उन 20-25 minutes को बहुत आराम से देखो. You note down the basics, try to understand the concepts, and then you try to solve these questions again and again on your own. And these are very simple questions, as you must have seen कि how easily the questions are getting solved. After my lecture, you try to solve these questions on your own. Again, I will tell you that this chapter has lost relevance in the recent years. So there is a high probability that the number of questions that are going to be asked from this topic may increase in the coming years. Till then, आप अच्छे से इसको करो on your own. Study hard, work very hard, and if you need any kind of help, or if you face any difficulty, we are always there to help you. Please reach out to us in case of any problem. Till then, study hard, work hard, and thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you.